Hello everybody, welcome to HeroesCCL as presented by Roll20. I am your caster for today, Tetcher, and I am your alternative casting stream, co-streaming using the co-streamer program. There is no command for it is just me. Only me. Evil. Alrighty, I've also a little bit less beard as you can see here, so cool. All good. I've shaved a bit. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening today. I'm here to bring you the CCL matches for this evening, which are as such. As you can see here, we're going to be jumping into Simplicity versus Granit Gaming first. Excuse me. And then we'll be jumping in to Chili Mountain versus 30k. Fun matches. Should be very entertaining. Gonna just quickly fix the fact that part of that table is covering up some other being shown there where it shouldn't be. Feels good. Everything is fixed. Nothing went wrong. Everything is fine. So yes, as you can see here, we're starting off with Simplicity, currently sitting at 1-1, a match ratio of 4-3, and they are playing against the team literally tied with them, bar one map. They are playing against Granit Gaming. Granit Gaming, of course, have managed to go 0-3 and 3-0 in their previous matches. Simplicity, they went 1-3 and then 2-1. I've lost count. Yeah, they went 1-3 and then 3-0. That was it. That's our first matchup. Then, of course, we have the battle of the bottom of the board, 30k. Currently 0-2 in terms of series, 2-6 in terms of maps. And they'll be playing against Chili Mountain, who currently have yet to take a single map in main season CCL. Let's see if they're able to do it. See if they're able to begin their comeback. Excuse me. They've got a long way to go. Let's see if they can do it. Of course, every single one of the teams that is playing today has had some kind of roster trade or swap. When we're talking about Simplicity, they released Noah. Noah became a free agent, and Simplicity instead picked up a Legacy. Very strong player, support player, I believe. We'll see if they end up getting any play time today. Hopefully they have Lutano back as well, who was missing at week 1. Granit Gaming, after their success in week 2 with Skoog on the main tank, traded Bergolt over to Chili Mountain and instead picked up Yasu OTP, support player, and a little bit of flex as well, which will be very good for them. I'm excited to see how much Granit Gaming can grow. So both of those teams have changed. As we already mentioned, Chili Mountain, they released their #1 pick, Fury, trading him to 30k. So Fury may be playing today against his old team. We'll see if that happens. And instead, they, as we already mentioned, picked up Bergolt from Granit Gaming. My theory is we won't see Fury play today. My theory is Fury will play next week, and we will still see Masquerade player support today. But we will see if I am correct on this estimate. I believe there is a plan, but we also have received information that apparently it's based on player vote. So it might, in fact, just react to how well the players are gelling together on the given day. Should be fun. Should be entertaining. We're just waiting for the first draft to get started. All of these series today will be best of 5. Yesterday we had some belter matches, all of which will be available on my YouTube over the next 3 days. First one, Oxygen Esports versus Wild Heart Esports, is already up, with Crowd Control versus Sidestep Kings going to be up tomorrow. Should be a belter of a game. They were, in fact, belters of games. Would very highly recommend watching them, especially Game 1 between Sidestep Kings and Crowd Control. It was one of the most fun games I've cast in a while, really entertaining, and showed exactly why you ban Medivh every game. It was entertaining as all heck. Would definitely recommend watching it. That's available on youtube.com/Tetcher, or in my videos on this Twitch channel. But let's talk about today. Simplicity versus Granit Gaming. Both of them, of course, making changes. Granit will likely be using Skoog as their main tank today. I don't know if we'll see Yasu getting played here, but we will find out very shortly. as we'll be preparing to head into the game very as quick as possible. Of course, Noah being replaced for Legacy is a strong move coming in from the side of Simplicity. Noah played some really solid play in week number 1, but as such, but since Lutana returned, Simplicity have seen a lot more success, and as such, they're going to lean more heavily into that, using, hopefully keeping Lutana around. We'll see if Legacy is the one who is needed, though. Simplicity have also impressed me a lot with Wit, especially, showing up in a big way for the team, playing a vast variety of tanks, including the most Tyrael games we have seen from any team so far, with 3 games at a 66% win rate on that Tyrael from Wit here. He's always been a tank player who's shown some really impressive plays, but sometimes has been caught out, but this is some of the best he's ever been playing, and he has silenced all the doubt that anyone might have had about him. Wit is playing amazingly right now. They also are very heavy on the Cassia, the Brightwing Diva, etc. Exactly what you'd expect to see from Simplicity here, although they did have some very aggressive play in some of the previous matches with a very fascinating Genji Brightwing composition, using Lutano on the Genji, Brightwing Emerald Wind for the backline dive murder composition. It shows why you never pick Volskaya Toxic. I like it. I like it a lot. On the other side, we look at Granit Gaming. Again, a very shaky week number 1. They put on quite a good performance. Beargolt put out as many games as he could, but it just didn't work out in their favor. Skoog, however, has rolled on in and has managed to pick them up quite a few wins. Playing quite a lot of Johanna so far, but not reaching the most success for it. Svangrota, however, having a lovely time, has been playing very well this season, has a 2-0 win rate on Sylvanas for the team, really piling on some great plays there. We also have the 100% win rate Anna and Leoric, but only after 1 game. They're also a Brightwing team, but with a lower win rate here than Simplicity, so we'll see how that's prioritized. They also lean more heavily into Tychus. Very sensible, as we have seen a couple teams start to lean more into the Deathwing Raged Assassin, but that seems to be drifting back and forth depending on the team. Nancy, thank you very much for the 300 bits. Very appreciated. Thank you very much for your support. Where are these games? Where are these games, fam? I want the games. I've done something. Hang on. Something went wrong. Okay. I'm trying to make sure make sure that we're live. We are. So it looks like the main stream is taking a little bit of time. Studio mode. Let's quickly check the main stream. They are just chatting. Okay. So, we have some fun stuff coming up. Should be very entertaining between these two teams. That Brightwing priority between the two is going to be very interesting. In terms of maps, we have a look at the side of Simplicity first, and we can see that their highest win rates are on Sky Temple, the 1 game we talked about with the Genji. Volskaya, again, also 1 game played, and the Infernal Shrines, currently 2-0, one of the main maps that most of these teams try to go to in a series. Having a very high win rate on it is very impressive. On the other side, though, not so good for Granit Gaming, so they may try and avoid the Infernal Shrines here. Currently 1 and 2 on that map with a 33% win rate. They do, however, have the same win rate as well on Volskaya Foundry. Not so good on with a 1 and 3. Curse 1 and 0. So we'll see if they go there. For now, we're starting off on none of those maps as we head into the draft. We are heading to Dragon Shire, ladies and gentlemen. This will be our first map of the day. Alrighty, we're getting this rolling. Let's see how they choose to start us out with Granit Gaming taking the first pick, first ban. Winning the coin toss, meaning Dragonshire is the map chosen here today. Granit Game, Simplicity choosing to take us to the map. They immediately ban out the Medivh. We know just how scary that could be, so it's a very sensible map ban choice here. Granit Gaming, this will be their first, in fact, both of these teams, this will be their first Dragonshire game. It has been a map usually banned out by Simplicity, so seeing them first pick it here as their go-to map choice is very unusual. They have banned Dragonshire 3 times in their match history. Granit Gaming, they have banned out Sky twice and Tomb of the Spider Queen twice. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed to see Simplicity pivot on this idea and bring us in for another ban. Brightwing is going to be taken out of action, so we're not going to see the contested over it. Again, a higher win rate for the side of Simplicity, as Chromie shall be removed. Now, Granit Gaming, Let's see how they start. Again, we're not seeing new player coming in for them yet. We do not see the Yasuo OTP. And we start off with Skoog, who will bring us the Johanna. On the other side, Simplicity. Again, also running their main team today. Not bringing in Legacy. Not bringing in their new 6th. We just stick with the main roster for now. Simplicity now. With Johanna on the board, we're seeing a lot of teams focus pretty hard on killing Johanna as a target there. They're just going to start off with that Sylve. A Hostie on Sylve is absolutely terrifying. And with Brightwing removed, they go for the next highest priority in supports, with Stukov going to be coming into play. Several great areas of control on this map where Stukov can cut off engage points. And Sylve, 2 separate builds that could play very well here. The very fast push build and a big team fight build with the Might of the Banshee Queen, or the extra percentage damage at level 1, where she might be able to melt through that Johanna more effectively. We see Granit Gaming taking a leaf out of Sidestep King's book here, running the Kerrigan composition with Nick bringing out the Kerrigan once again. Nick was the first person to play Kerrigan in CCL and is now bringing it back. It works for them because Nick is one of the best, if not the best Kerrigan in the world right now. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ana shall be taken out of action. The Nano Boost Kerrigan would be a little too scary to deal with, so we see that removed. Better safe than sorry here. Granit Gaming now. They have Johanna, they have Kerrigan, they have Cassia. With Sylvanas Stukov on the board, we look at see what could be very irritating here. Perhaps someone like Yrel, the Deathwing would be pretty hard to deal with. They go with Varian. The single target taunt would be quite hard for Kerrigan to get out of. Being taunted while trying to hard engage would be very difficult to deal with. Varian has not been shown by Simplicity yet, but it's a pretty easy hero to play. Wouldn't be too surprised to see it pop up as a reactionary pick to Kerrigan as is. We see Dahaka coming in to give him that global gang potential. The ability to just gain that man advantage at any moment will really give Kerrigan a hard time. Now, and they also get the Anubarak. Very hard CC, the ability to cocoon whoever the support is. Granit Gaming now. What do we see as their final picks? They have Kerrigan, they have Cassia, they need an offlaner, and need a healer. They're going to go with Diva as the offlaner. That will be able to sustain against Dahaka very easily, and it's good disruption. And they go for Kharazim. Very similar to a lot of the Kerrigan compositions we've been seeing. Running that Kharazim as well, kind of ignoring the opportunity to heal Kerrigan and just focusing on killing people as fast as possible so there's no time to react. Simplicity now, they need another damage dealer or a second support. We are seeing a lot of teams react with second support into this Kerrigan-style composition. What do we see? It's Lutano going to be the one hovering it. We see the Genji! Once again, no Brightwing-style Genji composition here. Genji's going to be great for picking up those last-hit kills on heroes like Kharazim and Kerrigan, because again, very low healing output from Granit Gaming right now. So if they drop low, that might be Lutano's opportunity to pick up quite a few kills. Bully out Cassia as well, currently the only backline hero on this map. Kill her off, she's the hyper carry. They might have a lot more freedom on the map to get the fights that they want without having to worry about that Cassia being the hyper carry of this comp. Exciting drafts coming in from both sides. Granit Gaming again leaning on that Kerrigan of Nick. We'll see if it is going to be enough. If you're enjoying the stream, by the way, as we are preparing for game number 1, if you keep watching and have a good time, maybe consider dropping a sub or a donation via bits or in another way. And of course, if you are enjoying, today is the last day you can vote in the Simply Nuck Gaming People's Choice campaign. They are sponsoring today's stream and have been sponsoring me for the entire month, so make sure that you show your support over to them. When you do so, you can just simply click on the link by hitting !SNUC in chat and vote which one of their systems receives the bigger Black Friday discount between Ghost Canyon, small form factor PC with i7 or i9 in it and up to a 270 graphics card, or the Vortex. A little bit longer, still low form factor, the ability to fit in a very large graphics card and a full-sized i9 whilst having a full-length graphics card as well. Make sure you vote, and big thank you to SNUC for sponsoring the channel. Let's head in to game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Spawning on the left-hand side, it shall be Simplicity with Lutano on Genji, Hosti on Sylve, Collusion on the Stukov, and they're going to jump away as we see Granit Gaming on the right, Nintori on Diva, Skok on the Johanna, Kenning going to be playing on that Karazim, Nick on Kerrigan, and Svamgrota will be playing the Cassia. Let's head in. It's, of course, Cure on that Dahaka, and Wit will be playing the Anubarak for the last members of Simplicity. Welcome to the game, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing the Nerubian armor coming in for Wit at level 1. Going for that spell armor, Might of the Banshee Queen for Sylvanas. Extra spell power, going for a very high burst. Not having to worry about percentage damage as much in this game. A little bit of CC to Wit, but they keep that lurking arm onto Nick. Lutano dives in deep, exactly what we're talking about. The low healing output means no sustain to deal with that level of hard engage. And they, of course, get punished for it. Very nicely done. Heroes Lounge, thank you for the raid. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the HeroesCCL, presented by Roll20. And my stream today is sponsored by Simply Nuck Gaming. Make sure you check them out with !SNUC in the chat. We have First Blood already on the line for Simplicity as they look for second. Svamgrota is gonna be taken out here. The turnaround attempt from Henning. Karazim, a very good hero to play against the Genji here. Not gonna be able to execute any kills with it at this early stage. Dark has made his way up to top playing. Cure will be soaking up there. Pressure already going to be applied. Lutano zoning away Henning. Lutano, one of the best ranged assassins in the game right now, but Nick's Kerrigan is scary. Here's Dahaka. That will secure the objective and will force Nick to back up. Nick does escape, though. Looks to try and turn onto Cure, unable to do so. Let's see how quickly Diva can clear up top lane, see if she can deny any XP. Skoog gonna slow down the rotation of Cure here, try and stop him. He will actually lose a couple minions worth of XP there, as we all see this Bruiser Camp getting picked up at this early stage of the game. Batic armor for the Stukov. Sustaining through that Kerrigan. She's very spell power focused, but has just as much auto attack, and that will definitely help against the Cassia and Diva and Karazim. Batic armor is going to be pretty huge in this game. Double channel available for Simplicity. Both these teams even right now. Only one map between them, both on 1-1 in terms of series. Inner Light for Cassia. Ooh, we're seeing the anti-heal coming in for Diva here. Very risky. There's a lot more crowd control coming in on the side of Simplicity than what we saw in yesterday's games, where we saw this particular style of Diva build. Risky play. Let's see if they can stay out of particular crowd control danger and keep that anti-sustain going. The aggression matrix is going to be very strong. We'll see if they also synergize this into the fusion generator, or if this is just to counter Dahaka, where if you can get that while he's using his own self-sustained talents, might be able to get a quicker kill onto him. Lurking arm is good. Tano has dove a bit deep here, still looking for Nick. He's going very deep. Nick turns it with 70 health left, gets the assimilation shield to save the day. Nick just winning that 1v1. Very close. Good fight here. Nintori dueling out Cure for the moment. And again, that aggression matrix will very much help against the essence of Cure. Going to give a lot of anti-healing here. Full dash build coming in for Genji. The Swift Strike wants to be able to make sure he will sustain through fights and get those resets when he needs to. So he'll be staying in the backline until he needs to dive. Wit not being allowed to mount here. Svamgrota pushing him in. Really trying to punish people on the backline here. Collusion backs up. There's the charge. Lutano trying to body block. They turn onto Svamgrota, but Henning and Nick coming from the side. Great slow. Big stun, and that's going to be the kill. Down goes Stukov. Wit is dropping it low as well. Burrow Charge will be back up in about 4 seconds. He's going to be able to Burrow Charge out with Under King. He will survive. Great job. Good escape coming in there. That's gonna be 2 kills to 2. Granit Gaming catching it back up here as they move down into the bottom lane and will begin to take care of this Bruiser Camp. We do see the continued anti-damage build, the defense matrix build with Fusion Generator. Getting that self-destruct charge while Fusion Generator is active. And of course, it also increases your maximum damage output as Diva. When your self-destruct is fully charged, your auto-attack crit damage is increased to 75%. Very interesting to see how well they can do there. It's 50% normally, so an extra 25% extra damage to targets that are close. Is not half bad. Always welcome. Cruiser camp going to be cleaned up for now. Granit Gaming piling on the aggression. Wit going to just completely deny this camp. Not even an attempt at a save. With Cassia up in top lane, they knew they would be outnumbered, so they just let that go. Having absolutely none of it. Cure cleans out the minions. Nintori shots in. You can see that anti-heal really slowing down the sustain of Cure, being quite the problem for him. This is actually a really interesting matchup from Nintori, who'll dive in. No midi stun, so will actually not interrupt the drag, but it's enough to let Lutano get out here. Yeah, that aggression matrix, 30% less healing against a Dahaka is pretty welcome here. Going to see that Micro Missiles, Valkyrie, Ultralisk for the extra CC here. Not going for the full wombo without Ana or anything like that. They just want to make sure that they get the single target kills. Kerrigan will be great for the follow-up on that. Down goes the Siege Camp. Looking up, will slow the rotation, but they're just going to focus on D, pushing this up. On the side of Simplicity, their level 10's available as well. Massive Shove and Cocoon, big counters. The X-Strike. They don't have the goat, they don't have any kind of really hard sustain for that Genji, so not going for the Dragon Strike this time. Wailing Arrow and Isolation going to be coming in as well. Lutano diving in. X-Strike, a lot of damage. Lutano going to be able to back away. Svamgrotta is the one who is nearly punished out. Cocoon will pop. Valkyrie, great burrow there from Cure as Wit is forced to disengage. Remember, Nintori was not here for this fight. We'll be rotating in now. They need to try and zone off Lutano. Here comes the channel. Wit trying to channel in bot lane, and that will prevent this Dragonite from going over to Granit Gaming. Great rotation by Wit there. But another kill going over to the side of Granit Gaming. They pick up Lutano, and they will make their way down to bot lane. Going to recapture this bot, as it's currently a double cap for Simplicity. But numbers advantage means they are able to take the 2v1. Top lane, there is currently a battle happening with Nick heading up to assist Nintori here. Cure trying to take that duel. Micro Missiles really helping trade the damage. Self-destruct is fully charged with these extra damage from Nintori. Nick comes in from the side. Ultralisk for the stun. And Cure will fall. That's going to be the double. That's going to be only a single channel, in fact, as we do see the quick rotation from Hosty, preventing this Dragonite from going over to Granit Gaming once again. But that's twice now. The Simplicity have saved the Dragonite from going over to Granit Gaming, but losing a member in the process. Wit slightly missing the burrow charge there, as they are able to cocoon the Karazim. They dodge the Valkyrie. Very carefully. Heading is freed. Wit, little bit focused down here. Needs to be careful. Of course, the Nubarak not very good against auto-attack heroes. Another attempt to try and pick someone off in the mid lane. Dahaka channels top. Prevents anything from going over. Cure doing a good job up here. Keeping his team in the game. Keeping the distractions going. Level 13 on the board. Clubs of Alacrity. Good to go. We see the Roar, and Subdue is finished, by the way. Subdue was completed by Wit on that Johanna. Sorry, not Wit on that Johanna, by Skoog on that Johanna. Really going to help them out here. Chrysalis. We see the Quicksilver as well for Karazim. Lots of extra movement speed, lots of abilities to try and keep them mobile. But on the other side, level 10, level 13 now hit as well. Virulent Reaction, and Tori forced to back away. Urticating Spines for a Nubarak. Armor-reducing Brushstalk, armor-reducing Dark Swarm for Cure, who is in a bit of trouble here. Still going to drop it. Drag onto Nick. Wit from the other side. 3-man stun. Lutano dives deep. There's the Valkyrie. Catches Cure. That could be a worse target here, but he doesn't have another burrow. He's going to be isolated and picked off here. That's going to be another rough fight. Again, Simplicity not finding a kill. And Granit Gaming again taking an advantage. Up to 5 kills to 2 now. As we will see Svamgrotta channeling in the bot lane. They already hold top lane thanks to Nintori. And it looks like we will finally see... Oh, it's going to be close. They got it right on the neutral tick. Instead, they're going to try and get onto Svamgrotta, but they cannot do it. Johanna going to be picking that up. Skoog grabbing the Dragonite for his team. First one of the game. And they will push into the mid lane. Great virulent reaction. Nintori in trouble. Can't even good to go, but there's no follow-up. They get the mech down, but Nintori just hitting everything they can, getting that charge back as quick as possible and as safely as possible. Massive shove, though, sends Svamgruta far off the map, far away from all danger. Right now, we do see Granit Gaming putting a little bit of pressure onto bot lane. Pretty standard build for Sylvanas, by the way. Old style build for Genji, really going for that backline dive. We're seeing a lot more Shuriken Master Machine Gun builds these days. Micro missiles. Harassing them down. Wit dives deep. Valkyrie. Wailing Arrow hits both the backliners. Nick dropped a little low here. Going to try a dive onto Lutado, who makes it over the wall. Ultralisk not landing. Cocoon is popped. Great drag onto Skoog, but it's not enough. Massive shove for the disengage. And the blind will prevent any kills from going over. The Ultralisk is a little confused. There we go. We'll actually enter into a fight. Neither team able to pick up a kill this time, and now 16 is available for Granit Gaming. They could try and turn this. They're going to look for Cure. 7-sided. He gets the burrow. Not enough CC, but they prevented a lot of healing here with this Diva. Level 1 and level 4 and 7. They move their way forward. She's gone with regular talents here. The defense, the emergency shielding, and the good to go to keep her alive. Another great anti-heal prevents Cure from healing up fully. There's a good drag, though. Henning might be in trouble. He heals to get the speed boost and gets out. Self-destruct has to be burned as Nintori was dropped low. But that was a great little fight here. This is a very fascinating Diva build. Virulent reaction lands again, but Collusion forced to cancel it and back up. Painful spikes for Kerrigan. Really want to get some kills. They have Cleansing Touch now. They have that cleanse, martial law. And we already talked about that emergency shielding. Not going to go with the diverting power, as quite a few players do. Not going with the rushdown, as quite a few players do. Nintori running their own builds here, purely dedicated to making the lives of Simplicity difficult. There's a lot of CC to interrupt it, but most of it's from an Uberak, who's forced to use it as an engage. So making the most of this very well. Solid build choice, working out to perfection here. We see the elongated tongue coming in here. Super strain for Stukov. A little bit of extra healing on his CC'd allies. That might help them stay alive a little longer in these fights. There's shield, Valkyrie, Wailing Arrow for the turnaround, but it's not going to stop Collusion getting absolutely bodied. Here comes Genji with a very good X-Strike, though. Deflate did a lot of damage, and everyone's looking pretty low on the backline. Burrow, again, to dodge the 7-sided strike, but Kira is getting focused out. They look for the turnaround. Drag is blocked by the Iron Skin. And Tori, mech doesn't even pop. Quick heal there. Henning able to keep everyone going, keep everyone alive. An intense game one. But still, Granit Gaming creeping further ahead here. Picking up another kill for nothing. 3 kills to 8 in their favor and a full level lead as the Dragon Knight spawns out again. We see the boost up to top lane coming in from Diva to get the soak. They clear out, grabbing themselves their own bruiser camp. A little bit of extra pressure to be applied there. What can they do with this? Good job to clear the minion wave very quickly. Wit will have to back away. Has to be careful. Even Wit will not survive these hard engages, as everything is all about the quick blow-up style from Granit Gaming. Double channel for Granit. Denied. Sorry, not for Granit, for Simplicity. It will be denied by Granit. Skoog seeing if anyone wraps around. Bruiser Camp being picked up here. Cure moving down to his team in case there is an engage. He wants to be able to keep an eye out and make sure that nothing goes wrong. Will successfully do so. Zones it away. In the meantime, Nintori sneaks to top lane. Looking to try and grab that double channel on the Dragon Knight. Right now, no one's contesting it, and no one is contesting mid. Instead, we see a blow up onto Lutado, though. No one's grabbing mid objective here, as they instead turn around and look for kills. Wit drops the cocoon, but he cannot save himself. Skoog is popped out. They don't get top lane, though. They didn't go for the double effectiveness there, just hunting the kills. And instead, we see Cure heading down to bot lane and will prevent the Dragon Knight once again. But it's 3-10 in favor of Granit Gaming. They again move further and further ahead here. Half a level away until they're level 20. They do their double channel now with a 2-man advantage. We see no contestation from Simplicity this time. And Nick will grab the second Dragon Knight of the game. Granit Gaming really piling on the pressure, really doing a good job here. They keep the pressure onto Simplicity, who are struggling. Dragonite moves down into the bottom lane. They have 2 Siege Giants with them here. Level 20 online. Upgraded Blessed Shield, Transgression. Adamantium Plating coming in for the Diva here. Imprisoning Light. Vacacia gets the root onto the Genji there. Lutano picked off again. Genji really showing that you cannot be CC'd or you will be exploded. Such a risky hero. In this case, will not work out. Massive shove will push it away a little bit, but we are seeing right now this Dragonite moving on to the core. Granit Gaming looking to try and end this here and now. Massive shove to take Cure out of action for a little bit. Core damage is splash, remember. They are spreading quite a bit here. Very dangerous as Hosty is doing huge damage, making the most of this talent build that they've gone for, but the flanking is good. Isolation tried to keep Salgota out of it, but he was able to kite around the core. They dive back in. Nick brings the Ultralisk, and Nintori is too healthy. That'll be game number 1, going over to Granit Gaming. Simplicity a little bit on the back foot at this early stage. They've still got plenty of time to make the comeback though, but Granit Gaming, I saw the Heroes Lounge people come in here, so I have a small feeling that they're probably rooting a little bit more for the European team. And as such, I'm going to guess that the Heroes Lounge people will be very happy with that result, as Granit Gaming took game number 1, very strong looking against the members of Simplicity here. From Simplicity, we saw a solid performance, but Lutano, despite being most of the kills on the team, the crowd control just offered to be a little too much to deal with from the side of Granit Gaming, and as such, they were punished. They did struggle a little bit in that fight. T-Nags, 156, by the way, thank you very much for your follow earlier on. The Adamantium Plating, a little bit of extra healing against Sylvanas was very sensible as well from Nintori at the end, who again, really fascinating build, purely built to make that Dahaka's life bad and synergizing off the fact that the only CC came from Drag Tongue, Isolation, both targeted abilities that would be very silly to use on Diva unless she was a guaranteed kill, or from a Nubarak whose CC is kind of the engage tool, or Sylvanas' Wailing Arrow, Lurking Arm is the only real thing that could have interrupted Nintori with this build. Very fancy, while still keeping good to go in emergency shielding to guarantee that they stayed alive as much as possible. Very interesting playstyle, very effective playstyle here, really played well. Very fun to see. Very fun to see indeed, and of course everyone else played very, very well indeed. That Johanna play was very good, but everyone just kept Johanna safe. It was all about reacting to that. Nick struggled a little bit in the early game where he was picked off once or twice, but the second they got in their rhythm, they were able to find those kills. That 7-sided strike basically guaranteed every fight they had turned into a kill and was executed to perfection by Granit Gaming. Good job by them, taking a kill lead here. They set themselves up, taking a win lead here, setting themselves up very nicely before game number 2. Once again, it's the best of 5 series. Granit Gaming currently sitting middle of the table, currently below Simplicity, as Simplicity has one more map win, as Granit Gaming got 0-3'd in their first series of the season. If Granit Gaming can win, they will put themselves, if they win 3-0 at this rate, they could put themselves at 6-3 in a 2-1 spot. That would put them in 4th place, secured basically. No one could really overtake them here, just behind Wild Hearts. But they would be tied in the 2-1 spot with Wild Heart and Crowd Control. A very, very nice spot to be in. Very interesting to see. Simplicity, they are right now sitting at 4-4. If they won here, they will be at 7-4, which would put them just ahead of Wild Heart Esports in terms of win-losses ratio. So Simplicity, a little bit more to gain here. They will move up to 3rd position if they were able to beat out Granit Gaming here. Quite a solid win-loss ratio if they were able to do so. A lot of work to do, though, to get to that point. Granit Gaming right now, though, 1-0 up. Looking very, very strong in this game at number 1. When the battle of the Kerrigan and the Genji, turns out Genji can't do anything if he's stunned. Who'd have guessed? Alrighty, so, of course, after this series, we will have Chili Mountain versus 30k as well. That should be a very entertaining series. We will have to see. And that was a very quick transition, as we already have game number 2 coming up. Let's get this rolling. We are heading into game number 2. It will be on Cursed Hollow. Very interesting. Map choice coming in from Granit Gaming, with Simplicity opting for first pick and first ban. Granit Gaming, in terms of Cursed Hollow games, they are currently 1-0 on it, yet to lose on the map. Yet to be played by Simplicity. This will be the first Cursed Hollow map of the season. Let's see how they compete against the Granit Gaming playstyle. Simplicity removing the Sylvanas and the Cassia, trying to remove those hyper carries that Granit Gaming seem to lean on quite heavily. There goes that Medivh. Both teams very keen on Medivh players, so getting that out of danger is very safe. But finally, Brightwing will make it into play. Simplicity more than happy to get that on their side. Brightwing once again 2-1 on their win-loss ratio. Was involved in 2 of their 4 map wins, so pretty effective for them. Also stealing that away, very sensible. Granit Gaming, they get Stukov, stealing that away this time. Second best support, don't want anything banned out. And they get Imperius. Skook's Imperius is very, very scary indeed. Right now, they have a 50-50 win rate on Imperius. 1 win, 1 loss. So quite a bit of work to do. Their loss was on Volskaya Foundry versus Wildheart Esports, where they ran it with a Chen and a Tracer, very interesting. And their win was against Sidestep Kings, where they brought it out with a Kerrigan and Leoric composition. It was very scary to deal with. We see Yrel, and Kroby makes her way in as well. She's been quite rare to see picked up these days, but we will see her pop in very effectively. First time we will see her picked for Simplicity all season. And, of course, so far, Granit Gaming have yet to play her as well. She's been banned so many times. Sergeant Hammer will be banned out. They don't want to deal with double siege. Very interesting. Sergeant Hammer, again, also yet to be played by Simplicity, but scary enough that it will just be taken out of contention without having to deal with it. That double siege potential with Imperius as your main engage would be very hard to counter. You just push them away once, and his engage is down for a very long time. Deathwing shall be removed as well. Could really absorb those shots from Kroby. Could really disrupt the CC of Yrel. And of course, Deathwing is a very good follow-up to Imperius as either assassin or offlane. It's a sensible ban out here, just making sure that that is not going to be a problem. Deathwing has, of course, been played by Granit Gaming, currently 0-2 with the hero, though. Yet to be played by Simplicity. Really not enjoying the Deathwing ranged assassin or offlaner build here. Ntori going to pick up that Diva one more time. And they're going to get Hanzo coming in here for Svangrotta. Their third Hanzo, currently 0-2 on that hero as well, but still feeling confident enough on it. Their Diva, by the way, now on a solid 75.5% win rate. Sorry, just 75% win rate, as they are now 3-1 on it. Looking real good for them. Simplicity. They get Tychus, and there's that variant. We were talking about it earlier. Granit Gaming knowing something we don't. It's the first variant play we will see coming in from Tychus. That's a main tank variant as well. That's going to be good for locking down a Hanzo, but how well will it do against that Imperius? Final pickup by Nick here. There was still the potential for the Kerrigan. That's why we see that variant here. It's a zoning potential tool. They still have enough burst damage to kill anyone variant engages on, but they also now have the reactionary option if Kerrigan comes in to have that counter to it, and it does. Simplicity, I think, have played Granit Gaming a little bit here. They really knew it was coming, and they feel that this is a confident enough draft to stop it. Brightwing Polymorph, they have the variant taunt. They have a lot of tools here to deal with picking off that Kerrigan, and Granit Gaming have played right into their hands. The question is it enough? Have Granit Gaming playing into Simplicity's hands actually done anything that isn't in their favor? They still have very heavy burst style against a Brightwing who has burst healing, but only against a single target, so might be a little risky there. It's going to be an interesting draft. I'd like to see this. Big heavy crowd control from the side of Granit Gaming once again, and a counter Kerrigan draft. Simplicity really trying to play to their opponents as opposed to their own composition. Granit Gaming are playing their own game, dictating the pace. And Simplicity are trying to just outsmart them and play around their draft in this way. It's fascinating to see. We'll see if it makes a difference, though, as we prepare to head into game number 2. If you're enjoying the cast so far, maybe consider dropping a subscription, a donation via bits or the Streamlab links below if you're feeling especially generous. And if not, you can just follow and share that there is this stream happening, that there is other casting happening for CCL, that I'm the lad doing it, and just sharing it, because more viewership is always good and helps build up the stream. Let's head into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. On the right-hand side, it shall be Granit Gaming. Nick on Kerrigan and Tori on Divas from Grotta on Hanzo. Skog playing the Imperius and Henning, busting out that Stukov. Very nice, I got percentage damage. Liquid cooling this time for Nintori. Very interesting. That's a Lion's Maw coming in for the Varian. On the left-hand side, it shall be Simplicity. Cure, going to be playing on that Yrel. Wit on Varian. Lutano on the Tychus. Hosty, bringing out that Chromie. And right now, immediately double soaking. So risky to do that so early. Collusion, making his way down the bot lane to soak up with that Brightwing. Very risky to do that so quickly. Skook moves forward. Unable to find anyone. He's got Burn the Impure for a little bit of percentage damage, but doesn't find anyone to use it on yet. Grenade-based build for Lutano. This build, we saw it a little bit from Granit Gaming last week, where it had great effect here. Really insane damage output. Starting us off with that quarterback, a little bit of extra damage and extra throw range. There's the focus onto Lutano, who won't get to use it for a while, for he is dead. And Wit making the mistake of trying to follow up and help here. Gets the armor, gets the speed boost, Kerrigan pull, and that's one dead Wit. Double kill. Going over to Granit Gaming, the mistake. Everyone has done it of, I was just trying to help, but all you do is add another kill over to your enemies. Tychus build here. Once Lutano is back alive, they will continue down a bigger they are route, moving into Melting Point. Drop them low, finish them off with Grenade Burst. Heaviest burst build you can do with Tychus. Still going with a Commandeer Odin style. And then likely, if they are going this exact build, maybe a Spray and Pray armor piercing rounds, level 13 and 16, what we saw the last time we saw this particular style of play. And then Big Red Button, of course, for level 20. Nick starting on the Bruiser camp. He is spotted by Chromie. Gonna get Nintori in to help out here. Biotic armor. We see another aggression matrix coming in for D.Va. More anti-heals. This really seems to be the build that Nintori is preferring at the moment. Cool to see this kind of adjustment. Yrel, another good hero to play against it though, going with Light of Karabor. Increasing that Vindication radius by 50% and that 45% per hero hit. Up to 90% bonus healing to hit two extra heroes. You get that big healing numbers. But if Nintori is dropping that anti-heal on you, that's going to be a problem. And of course, very predictable Brightwing means you can use that Aggression Matrix. They kill off Wit again. If you can use that Aggression Matrix as Brightwing teleports in, then you will prevent a big chunk of healing, as Brightwing, of course, went for the phase shift level 1 to get that maximum big burst healing. It is bigger they are, as we predicted. There is the Taunt. Molten Armor upgrade coming in for Imperius. And Tori really piling on the pressure, letting Wit right now soak his lane up for him, because he can. This is where the pressure is needed. He has a much faster wave clear at this stage than Wit. Wit, though, is going to be looking for stacks. So the Aggression Matrix being used, though. Cure able to step back up after knocking out D.Va. Channel begins from Wit here. This objective is up, and right now only Simplicity is showing up, but here comes Granit Gaming. They've been very patient with this. Skoog delaying nicely. Keeping the pressure on the map, making sure they get that double soak as well. Brightwing has already made her way down to bot lane, leaving Nick to solo up there. It's a 4v3 right now. How much will they delay? Great little shot from Hunter, but immediately soaking again. Skoog gets sniped by Chromie. That will be the last interrupt they will get, though, with the kill onto the Imperius there. That will be enough. Oh, no, never mind. Nintori is here. Making it a 3v4 once again. Nintori rotating in. Nick on the way as well. There's the victory rush coming in for Varian, by the way. Big burst heals as well. Collusion. Channeling in. Can they interrupt? They can. They can. Another bullseye coming in. Rip the mech, though. Hosty really punishing Granit Gaming for trying this delay style. They are getting punished for it. So Grotta unable to get any more interrupts. Channel goes over to Simplicity. Simplicity able to take a solid lead here. In the first tribute of the game, and we're still able to keep up in soak. Cure able to double soak effectively enough that it wasn't a problem. There's that melting point for the Raider. The Tiger, sorry. Wit waiting in position, finds Skoog. Dodges the Celestial Charge, takes a slightly longer way out, but keeps himself safer that way, avoiding the stun. Nick still being the one to take the solo lane, up to 41 stacks on sharpened blades. Peekaboo now for Brightwing, big protection talents. Siege their way in, really making the most of this Lutano build here. Lutano piling on damage. They've gone for Endoral Anomaly as well. Look at these time traps all spaced around. Really keeping Granit Gaming away from the fight, keeping the zoning good. Granit Gaming, despite having a kill advantage, are on the back foot a bit here. Not really being able to find their angles of engage thanks to this Chromie. Chromie Siege proving a little too much for their hit and run delay style. But they're about to hit level 10. They'll potentially have Ultralisk again. This will give them a big follow-up. They're looking for Cure right now. Here comes the Blink. Phase shift in. Peekaboo. Cure already dropped down to half health again, though. Witch coming in for the interrupt. Skoog, little bit isolated from the team here, but the channel does go over to Granit Gaming. Dragon Arrow sidestepped. They still look to turn around. Here's the Odin from over the wall, though. They've managed to get the entirety of Granit Gaming into this choke point as the Odin comes out. Angelic Armor's dropped by Skoog. That'll be enough for the disengage. Ultralisk dodged beautifully by Cure as they really looked for the counter engage there. Ultralisk will find nothing. It will get a little bit of damage to slow down the rotation. Neither team able to find the kill. Heroics dropped on both sides. Shield wall, unsurprisingly, for Varian. But yeah, that Dragon Arrow not landing feels bad here. They smash their way through the boss. Mirrored on the other side by Granit Gaming. Both teams getting their own. Nick, you can see how huge that shield is going with this particular build. The level 1 talent, by the way, we didn't talk about this from Nick, shifting from what we saw last game. Last game, we saw them go for the Fury of the Swarm, going for that extra little bit of cleaving auto attacks. In this case, went for the Assimilation Mastery, getting that extra 40 points of Assimilation shields from Regen Globe healing. And while Assimilation is active, Kerrigan's health and mana regen was increased by 150%. Dragon Arrow finds nothing. Very interesting strategy right now, using Dragon Arrow as their main source of engage. There's the second tribute going over to Simplicity, 2-1 in their favor right now. But they're using Dragon Arrow as their main engage tool. It's not working out amazingly, but they are still holding well enough here. Tori takes quite a few hits, will be forced to back away. Here comes the team. Looking for Wit. Time trap's good. Working arm. Gonna set this up as they try to keep Wit still. Wit, here comes the teleport in from Collusion. Keeps him alive. Self-destruct. Quite a bit of damage, but it's blocked by Shield Wall here. Lutano in Odin. Celestial Charge from over the wall. Great angle on a defender. Really absorbing a lot of damage there. And using Divine Steed, Cure gets away. Taking him for a loop here. And with every heroic burned, suddenly we see a terrible situation for Granit where they weren't able to find a kill, and now they have to deal with this tribute sieging into Chromie without some of their tools. Dragon Arrow back off cooldown though. Looks like they might be able to give this up, sending Nick to keep soaking mid lane and then Tori up to top. They start their siege. They are giving up the curse. Curse goes over to Simplicity, playing very well here. Shattering throw for Wit. The ability to deal with Angelic Armaments or Kerrigan. Such a clutch pick here. Focus down. Shield Wall tags through. Chromie damage doesn't find Nick. They are able to take down Skoog though. Nick backs away. Shattering Throw doesn't just do that single bit of burst like we mostly see it used. It also increases your auto attack damage to shields. Not needed for Hanzo though, who they're just able to isolate and pick off. A little bit of a catch out there, so I'm going to have to take it out. Simplicity. Smashing their way through. We talked about them dictating the draft there, and Granit Gaming falling right into their trap, and it is showing. This Chromie proving to be such a difficult hero to deal with, and the Variant able to turn around onto Skook and onto Nick is playing beautifully. Great job right now by Wit. They siege in back and forth. Cure says hello from above, will get Celestial charged, but it is Yrel, Hand of Freedom, gets him out with a quick speed boost. Staying safe, staying alive, very well played right now by the side of Simplicity, bringing this back, maybe looking to take us to the 1-1 in this best of 5 series. Collusion thinking about porting, has just about 50% mana. But for now, just hovering around. We're going to maybe get some bottom lane XP if no one shows up here. However, quite a few people are about to show up in bot lane, and as such, this will be denied. No experience will be gained by Collusion here, and you can see them immediately moving back, being very patient, waiting until they had vision before they stepped up to get the XP. Now they're in a much safer position where they can soak here without getting caught out. Safe play, smart play, good job by Collusion. Bash their way through, taking down the minion wave. Top being pushed up by Cure, who doesn't have to be as safe as Brightwing, who picks up Crit Rise, by the way. Good stun from over the wall by Nick. Dragon Arrow does get 2 members, but it's a very low cooled, very low duration stun as the Melting Point Grenade takes out Skook again. The tankiness hard to deal with when the Dragon Breath from Hosty comes out and drops you so low as you try to retreat with the spell power. Banner of Dalaran coming in from Simplicity. Wit just buffing his team even more. They've got the Critterize for the burst. They've got the Chromie damage. They've got the spell power buff, and that will still buff the grenade too. That, by the way, went for some Neo Steel plating and went for some sizzling attacks. They didn't go for the full Q build. Didn't need it. Went for a little bit of extra percentage damage anyway to help finish off Skook, and it is working. They're going to begin to move up. Boss is available. This is Granit Gaming side boss. Simplicity, no one told them that though. They're going to begin to focus this down. And Tori sees it happening. There is a time trap here. Going to be used. Svamgrotta does some damage. Boss has been abandoned. They look for the kill instead. Good to go. And Tori backs away. Gets chunked by Cure, but will survive. Cure, in fact, is going to get turned on here. Everyone is here. Nick hovering below. Boss was leashed a little bit, healed a bit, but is still here for the fight. Cure finds Nick, but he's going to be able to drop the Iron Defender, and that will be enough for their team to secure the boss. Oh no, they don't finish it. It resets! Oh no, they did finish it. Sorry, they did finish it. Okay, I thought it reset for a bit there. The Ultralisk icon was covering the boss. We are good. Tribute going to be picked up here by Simplicity. Granit Gaming still on the defensive. They have so much burst, but they have to be the ones to dictate these fights. Varus Pursuit coming in for the Imperius here, the ability to teleport to the last person affected by his trait. Getting 25 armor in the process. Second boss being picked up by Simplicity. Only 2 levels away from their level 10. They have almost a 2-level lead over Granit Gaming. 1.5 levels, about to be 2 levels, as they continue to get mercenaries and soak up experience. This is a rough position for Granit Gaming to be in. They have to fight their way back quite a lot to make their way back in here. But they do have a very high scaling level 20. We have Diverting Power, by the way, for the D.Va. She went with the mini stuns and with Diverting Power. So she still has the anti-heal. And the extra radius, the extra area on that defense matrix. So it's another mix of the builds here. Also, there's extra healing for Nintori here, but there's a lot of CC to deal with this time. A lot of ways to be interrupted in it. Micro missiles being used to great effect, harassing this boss down. They siege their way through, keeping themselves up. In the meantime, Collusion keeps soaking top lane. They're racing their way towards level 20. 3 levels to go for Granit Gaming. They are very far behind here, and there's about to be another curse in the next 3 minutes for Simplicity. They keep pushing ahead. In 3 minutes' time, top boss may be up as well. They might just be able to keep capitalizing on this and pushing themselves further and further ahead. They're looking for Cure. Vision Tower sees it happening. Cure backs up, plays it safe. And Simplicity are in full control of this game. There's level 20. What can they do with this? They get it with the ticking XP. Invisible Friends. Seraphim, of course. Big red button, as predicted. Varian should probably be the healing banner. There it is. Glory to the Alliance coming in from the Varian and Chromie. Oh, that level 20 already had been picked, of course, because she gets it 2 levels earlier, but unraveling. Every 0.25 seconds, enemy heroes slowed by Sowing Sands have their spell armor reduced by 7 up to 35. Basically, you have minus 35 armor every time you try to invade into this, while the enemy team has spell power, while you are slowed, while you are sieged by Chromie and Tychus with potential big red button. This is so hard to survive. You have to be able to push through it, but that Sowing Sands, they are not equipped. Granit Gaming, until they have level 20 with Bolt the Storm, they are not equipped to deal with this. Mid keep already down. They're causing pressure, sieging onto top keep while also keeping pressure onto the members of Granit Gaming, trying to force a fight at level 20 where they will have the advantage. Cure takes some damage, going to quickly Seraphim out. Top keep dropping down to nothing. They stay alive for the moment. Team a little bit split, has to be careful. Simplicity can't afford to get split and die here. They have such a big lead already. Sieging it, taunt, focus, teleports out. Skoog using Urel as the escape through here. The Chromie damage is good. Wit chases down. Here comes the Cocoon, big red button, because the Chrysalis does not save Nick. Valorant, the armor. The Armor Defender from Cure, just keeping him alive all the way through all this. Here comes the self-destruct from Nintori, who's a little bit out of position. There's the CC and the stun coming in. Chromie burst to finish the job. Nintori's mech will be popped again. Core's dropping down. That's a 3-0 under the enemy core. And that's going to be game number 2, going over to Simplicity, evening up the score at 1-1. Great job, Simplicity, taking us to a 1-1 in this best of 5 series. Really playing well so far. Beautiful performance by them. With 1-1 in the series, they are able to bring themselves to a tied position as we have a quick look at the stats. I realized I had the draft music on for the entire of that game. My apologies, I'll fix it for next one. Look at that sustain. They played that so well. Only 3 deaths on their team. Most of them onto Wit. There were a couple kills found by Granit Gaming, really trying to punish Wit being a lower health tank. But the damage output of Tychus and Chromie in those tight choke points was too much to deal with. Imperius couldn't engage hard enough. He couldn't make his way onto the points well enough. Kerrigan needed someone else to be taking the engagement. So that's why you saw them so desperately at the start, trying to use Dragon Arrow as their engage tool to try and prevent that from being an issue. It was an interesting attempt, but it did not work out. They didn't land as many Dragon Arrows as they were hoping, and as such, they found themselves on the back foot. 1-1 in this best of 5 series, meaning no matter what, we're going to be having a very interesting next series. With, once again, Simplicity, if they're able to take the 3-1 here, if they can win 2 more games in a row, they will move ahead of Wildheart Esports, which will be quite surprising for a lot of the people in the Fantasy League. Granit Gaming, they need to win 2 more as well. That will put them in a 6-4, which, as we already said, will still put them behind Wildheart Esports, but will put them ahead of Simplicity. And that's the big play they want. They really want to move themselves up the board. That top 3 spot is the most coveted, of course. You want to try and avoid the table when it comes to playoffs. If you can avoid playing in the table play, meaning those extra little bit, the least games you can play as possible, the better time you are going to have. And this is what both these teams are seeking, the ability to try and make their way further up the board. No matter who wins of our next series of the day, it will not affect either of these 2 teams, as they are in a safe position. Actually, no, because they'll both be 1 and 2. So in theory, 30k could maybe sneak up on one of them. Could be interesting. 30k could make their way in, actually move their way quite high up the board here. Gonna be fascinating. Going to be very fascinating indeed. Chili Mountain, they're a little bit far out. They will be unable to move their way anywhere past 7th place, even if they're able to win, because they would not be able to overtake Sidestep King's points. So Chili Mountain, quite a long way to go before they're able to earn themselves a better place on the board. But right now, between Simplicity and Granit Gaming, the pressure is on. Both teams battling it out for their position in 4th to 3rd place. Well, the mainstream has gone on to their break. I will talk to you about some stats, though, so that you have something interesting to listen to. But also, before we do, let's quickly talk about why I am able to keep doing this, and that is due to generosity of people like you. Watching the stream so that the viewership numbers go up, so I can get more people in, so I can tell them this. I hope you're enjoying the stream today, and if you are, maybe consider dropping a subscription, maybe a donation via bits or subs, both very appreciated, or there is a Streamlabs link below where you can donate directly without having to give some of your money to Twitch. That is all very appreciated. There's also a Humble Store link below, meaning you can buy your games this Christmas for yourself or loved ones for a lot of times cheaper than Steam, and also while supporting me if you use my affiliate link, and also maybe dropping a donate to charity if you do one of their big bundles. So feels good. If you do have some acceptable income, it is very appreciated. If not, just watching, turning off ad block, and being able to support me that way. You can turn on ad block during the games. I only run ads out of game. So you can turn off ad block during the game. I know the Twitch ads right now are very annoying. That's why I always try to run ads during the in-between games so that you can get your best viewing experience that way. So, we're getting ready to jump in. And of course, once again, please support my sponsor for today, Simply Nuck Gaming. They are running their People's Choice campaign, where they have put it in the hands of you, the people, to choose which of their systems has the biggest Black Friday discount. We had a sort of quick bracket through their systems, and we're down to our final 2. The Ghost Canyon, tiny little machine with the option to put an up to 270 graphics card and an i9 in it. Beast of a machine, incredibly small form factor and incredibly quiet. I personally would love one. I am currently a poor streamer, but they are putting on a massive discount on Black Friday. If that one wins, the other one is going to be... excuse me. The other system is, of course, the Vortex. Slightly longer machine, still very low form factor and very quiet, but it also has the ability to fit a full-length graphics card in it as well, which will very much help out in terms of your gaming power. Feels good. And thank you, G2H Missy, for subbing at Tier 1. If you want to keep supporting SNUC, it costs you nothing to vote in the poll, but the more people they see vote in the poll, the better job they'll think I am doing. So make sure to hit !SNUC and vote in the poll. It costs you nothing, and it shows that you are supporting the sponsor who are supporting me. Very appreciated. Thank you all for your hard work. But if you're looking for a good system, check out on Monday where their finalists will be announced. You'll be able to have a look at the discounts they have for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Feels good. Again, thank you G2H Missy as well for your subscription. Very appreciated indeed. Cyrus, I respect you for shooting your shot. It's a good idea, good try. Hey, Jinxie, how's it going? And Kyra, D3 Hots, thank you very much for dropping your sub as well. Very appreciated. Using your Prime sub, very smart. You don't spend any more money than you were already spending. Very smart play, lad. Or lass, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I respect the shooting the shot, Cyrus. Very smart. Alrighty, so we're going to be getting ready to jump back in here. Nintori, that D.Va play, again, very effective, but unable to emerge victorious and really improve that D.Va win rate, but they're still very heavily leaning on the D.Va as their offlane. When we talk about the other offlaners we've been seeing from Granit Gaming, especially from Nintori, then we're going to be looking at... Let's have a quick look here. We're going to be looking at Chen. They played that once. Dahaka as well has been utilized once or twice. Still have quite a bit of work left to do. Highest win rate, weirdly enough, with Phoenix, the one game they have played him. They have played Jarrell as well. not been able to play that too effectively. And of course, they have played Leoric as well. I think maybe bringing out the Leoric might be solid here. He's really rising in priority right now. But the D.Va has been working for them. It was just a little bit rougher due to the fact that Simplicity were ready for them in that game and just outdrafted the Kerrigan more than anything else, causing big problems for the draft of Granit Gaming. Very sensible, very smart drafting, utilizing and being turned into a win. Very nicely done. Am I doing both games today? Yes, I am, Jinxie. Having a good time already. Simplicity looking real good. People who don't know, Jinxie Cat is currently probably streaming on her own channel as well, doing on the Simplicity channel as well. As Simplicity, Jinxie Cat is currently a content creator for Simplicity, so make sure you check them out too. She is also the love of my life, so make sure you show her support as well if you can. It'd be pretty freaking decent. She also does watch parties for the other games on her own channel too. So she does stuff on Jinxie Cat and stuff on Simplicity. I was on the last Simplicity podcast where I did power rankings of the teams. I was wrong about one of them already, but you'll have to watch that to find out which one I was wrong about. That is on the Jinxie Cat channel. Alrighty, so let's talk about Simplicity here with their drafting style. Trying to lean on that Genji again, very effective, but they ran it into a little bit too much crowd control last time, and they were punished for it. That will continue to happen if they do continue to take that risk. They've been leaning a little bit more on heroes like Cassia and Brightwing. The Brightwing showing up this game, very effective, and of course that Tyrael. They're going to be looking for maybe smaller maps to play the Tyrael here because that's a little bit riskier to run in at this stage. Bring out the Tyrael in week number 1 on Battlefield. That was unsuccessful. That was against a very heavy engaged composition of Sidestep Kings, using the Imperius and the Mal'Ganis to really create disruption and cause problems. And they brought it out in week number 2 as well versus Chili Mountain, where they brought it out on Sky Temple and utilized it with that Genji composition, making the most of the Sanctification Dragon Blade combo as a sort of budget Divine Shield, the Holy Dragon combo. It's an interesting style. We'll see if they choose to bring out that Tyrael again, but they're definitely using it for that particular kind of playstyle. We did see it yesterday as well, with Sidestep Kings bringing out the Tyrael quite a bit and trying to utilize a combo with Reyna to really try and make that work. They used a Reyna D.Va in both the games they ran with Tyrael. They were unsuccessful on both of them. This is the map that they ran, that Simplicity ran the Tyrael on, though. Let's see if it's going to be enough for them to claim victory on it as we head into game number 3, ladies and gentlemen, as the mainstream are back from their break. Let's head in. We're going to be having Granit Gaming, starting off with the Yorel ban here. Very strong map, great disruption. If we were to see Granit Gaming maybe go for that Tyrael style, Yorel has a very quick reaction to quickly disrupt members and try and stop that sanctification happening. Brightwing as well, very high win rate for Simplicity. Simplicity now. They banned that Sylve again last time, but they kind of have to ban Medivh here. Even though it's not the best Medivh map, the second Medivh gets let through, he wins games. Every time. They don't. They let Medivh through. Will Granit Gaming pick it? Will they bite? Will they again potentially be led down the path by Simplicity? They take the bait. Have Simplicity set a trap, or have they fallen into one themselves? They pick the D.Va, stealing that away from Granit Gaming, and they take the Falstad, giving themselves that global potential. Very smart. Quick D-push, the ability to maybe gust people away from the portals. Very sensible, very smart here. Now Granit Gaming, they have the Medivh. A lot of the hyper carries are gone, so they focus on their support crew here, getting themselves Henning on that support Stukov. And Skoog going to be busting out that Diablo. So the Diablo Medivh combo is, of course, absolutely terrifying. The ability of Diablo to appear wherever he wants and immediately stun you into a wall is very hard to avoid. Smart play. Very smart play indeed. Simplicity now off-laners. Dahaka, perhaps. Yep, removing that global potential. They want to try and monopolize global to allow Falstad to split soak and prevent exactly what we saw yesterday of Medivh rotating around the map and preventing anyone from catching. Having that global on their side and that fast rotation of D.Va is going to really slow down the reactional ability of Granit Gaming. Granit Gaming, they ban the Garrosh. Garrosh, of course, very good into Diablo. Diablo charges in, Garrosh throws him, and a bad time is had by all. Simplicity now. They have Falstad. Tanks are a little bit lower. We're looking Johannas. We're looking Anoobs. We're looking Muradins. Muradin might actually be a good choice here. Looking Tyraels again. For Wit, perhaps. They leave their tank till last. They go Lucio. Risky play here. Lucio, of course, gives a very big amount of protection with that sound barrier. Really will protect the team well. But Lucio into Diablo. Lucio gains his value from Wall Ride. And of course, or a lot of his value from Wall Ride. And Diablo capitalizes on targets next to walls. It's always risky to run Lucio into a Diablo. But the confidence is shown by Collusion. Happy to do so. With Stukov and Brightwing both taken away from him, they let it go. Nick on that Grey Maiden, the burst follow-up for the Diablo engage. And Sonya. Extra very high damage output, the ability to hold solo lanes well enough. This is a team fight-based build where they want to portal in, capitalize on the extra sustain Medivh gives them, and set up fights that they intend to win. Simplicity now, they don't have too much disengage. They could have maybe leaned on a Decade for that. They go with ETC. That will give them a lot of disengage and gives them some counter turnaround potential if they were to choose to try and mosh pit. They could stage dive this and use the double global to get very hard ganks. There's currently 3 interrupts for the mosh pit on the side. 3 if we see Polybomb. We'll see if that's enough. Going to be an interesting match as we prepare to head into map number 3. Right now, 1-1 between these two teams. No lead being shown. With Granit Gaming playing a little bit better in game number 1. Simplicity, a much better draft and better play in game number 2. These two teams look to be quite even. It just appears to be draft-based. In this draft, I never vote against Medivh. So I'll be leaning for Granit Gaming this one. Simplicity, though, they've got that global potential, which is not being shown by the side of Granit Gaming here. And I think Simplicity are trying to bank on that to just try and out-macro. The problem is, you can macro for quite a while, but the temples will kill your core eventually. We'll see if it's enough. So we're going to head in to game number 3, ladies and gentlemen, of this best of 5. On the left, it is Simplicity. Collusion on Lucio, Wit on ETC, Cure on D.Va. We're going to be seeing Hosty on the Falstad and Lutaro busting out the Tychus. On the right-hand side, Granit Gaming heading on Stukov. Sangrota playing the Medivh. Skoog on Diablo. Nick is playing Greymane. That's going to leave Nintori in the top lane on the Sonya. Let's see what they can do. Starting off at level 1. Another liquid cooling. Very much jumping up in priority. And a wingman. Exactly what we predicted. It's an out-soak and out-macro style coming in from Simplicity. Avoid the Medivh, who has gone for Portal Mastery. Devil's Due for Diablo. Of course, the objective does spawn globes here. So we'll get double soak sustain. Quarterback for the Tychus as well. Block Party for ETC. Let's see how well they can perform. Hosty already soaking up as best they can. Warpaint for Nintori. Risky talent. Provides him to be in melee range with Cure, which he will win for a while. The question is for how long? How long will he be able to just keep the pressure on and keep winning those fights? The fact that it is a liquid cooling game, though, does actually help out quite a bit. Liquid cooling is definitely going to help Sonya. Liquid cooling will be better for D.Va in the long run because of the rotational sustain, but they will lose 1v1s versus Sonya at a more consistent base. It allows, however, D.Va to sustain without having to fight Sonya. And that's the idea here, because Sonya almost wins every single 1v1. So playing around it is the strategy here. Play around, stay back, avoid pain. Level 4 creeping up for both teams, much quicker for Simplicity. As their double rotation continues. This is also gaining stacks very quickly for Hosty. Solid plan here by Hosty. Shots coming in. Looking to try and protect these Siege Giants, which have almost made it into tower range. Diablo trying to step up. He wants to try and overpower one of those Siege camps to push it into tower range. And he will get it. That will be finished off quick enough that it's not going to be too much of a problem. Good job here. Not looking too bad so far. Lane's being cleared up. There's that Raven familiar coming in from Swangrosso, who's focused. Overextended a little bit here. There's that nuclear option. Ooh! We're seeing In the Rhythm coming in from Tychus here. Very interesting for what looked like to be a hit and run style. Seeing In the Rhythm is quite surprising. Quite surprising indeed. We'll see if that works out in their favor. As we will see Cure sustaining up, clearing out the lanes as best they can as the objective is spawned. Cure and Nintori will probably both try to double soak. Oh no, they send Nick to double soak. Getting his XP that way. Very interesting. Wit holding the line. Good face melt. Enough to get some good damage onto Skoog. They look to try and finish off Wit here, but the follow-up is turned around. And Tori choosing not to go for the big dive here. Just letting that one go. Swangrosso takes to the sky, will soak out that way. They're playing this very safe for the moment. Boomerang, no surprise there for the Falstad. Wants to clear the lanes fast, gain as many stacks as possible. Only 4 stacks on Melting Point. I'm still very surprised to see that talent even. Tyke, oh, Diablo, Malevolence coming in from Skoog with Shadow Charge at level 4. Going with a more burst-focused build here. Going to try and pick up kills. Very exciting. I'm excited to see what they can do with this. Self-destruct, trying to cut off the escape of Granit Gaming. It's pretty effective. They're still able to retreat, though. No deaths. Swangrosso takes to the sky once again. They avoid the kill. Boombox, by the way, for Lucio. Collusion, making sure he can heal his team, even if he has to rotate quickly. Nice little idea here. Skoog sees Cure. Not going to be able to turn it into anything aggressive as of yet. They're playing this quite safe here. Although Skoog may have been enough more he can chew, he becomes quite a few in the rhythm stacks, taking that up to 30. Lutano, that's going to help him out a lot as the game goes on. In the Rhythm, it's still quite surprising to me. Kill Tychus fast, but In the Rhythm versus Sonya is pretty effective. She heals so much, she'll actually sometimes survive even longer than Diablo. And I think that's the idea here. Allowing Tychus to back up, stay safe, and then still get as much duration as possible. They clean out the Siege Giants, trying to protect their own once again. It's going to be Falstad rotating up to the top lane. Hosty trying to gain as much XP for the team as possible and duel against that Sonya. Nintori getting XP for their team, as is Skoog. Granit Gaming, they're on the back foot, but not by much. No kills so far. Level 10 hit a little bit earlier for the side of Simplicity. Mighty Gust. We do see the Commandeer Odin. Sound Barrier, Micro Missiles. EDC yet to pick. This is the one that could be swapped out. Here's level 10 for Granit Gaming as well. We just saw Apocalypse. Leyline Seal, go for the throat. Wrath of the Berserker. And Massive Shove. Massive Shove, another potential interrupt for Moshpit, but Moshpit is seen anyway. The unused Moshpit is the scariest. That seems to be the capitalization we are seeing from Simplicity, taking that risk. Still 0 kills during this game. Both teams playing very safe. Samgrota, very risky stepping so far up against a ETC. Nintori jumping back in. Samgrota, very risky portal usage there. Takes quite a few missiles. Will survive, but that was quite a big overextend. Very nearly got punished. Weird from the side. Stun. Marsh Pit. Goodbye, stacks. 16 stacks gone to the wind. As Simplicity find first blood, and it's the perfect target, punishing Samgrota for playing so aggressively. They're gonna bribe out the Bruiser camp, finishing off the final mage with some auto attacks. That is gonna be a big win for Simplicity right now as they get mid-fort. Bottom temple, though, is being capped right now by Skoog, and that will be enough to take out bottom fort as well. Self-destruct coming in from Cure. Nuclear option catches Skoog on the outside. And Cure steals the final 5 shots. It's going to be enough to finish off that fountain. Good trade. Back and forth between the teams. Leyline. 3 members. APOC timed well. Not well enough. It only catches ETC. Lutano able to escape. He was the target here as they turn it round, looking to try and siege back in. Samgrota dropped very low. The Samgrota survives. Valstad on the backside is forced to roll away as the portal was dropped to try and turn onto him. Very risky play from Hosty there. Great reaction. Able to barrel roll away the second we saw the turnaround coming in. Good job so far from Simplicity, still keeping their lead. 1 kill to 0. And a single fort lead. Let's have a look at some of those level 13s as they come in a little earlier for Simplicity. Lucio, we're going to go with the heavy casters. A little bit of CC here. Adding a stun to his push-off. Very interesting. We're going to be seeing good to go for D.Va. No surprise there. Giant killer for Falstad. Trying to burn through. The music has stopped. There is not meant to be music here, in fact. There's not supposed to be anyway. Is the music better? Would you like the music? Wit looking for Samgrota. Tychus going with the build we were talking about earlier, but within the rhythm. Instead of the bigger they are. Lutano going with the build we talked about last game. Spray and pray at level 13. Armor-piercing rounds will likely be the level 16 as such to keep in the run. They could still go sizzling attacks though. Can still combo them together. Spray and pray does slow, so it's a good utility, enough for utility talent on its own. Wit holds the line. Charge. Flip. Weird. Tanking through. Leyline, Apocalypse. This time Apocalypse too early. Not able to find anyone that time. The timing on that combo, very difficult. But Skoog not finding it yet. You can blame Ping for this, but they've got to start landing those. Fort goes down in the top lane. All 3 forts have been taken by Simplicity. Wit face melts away Skoog. No encore again, no cooldown reduction on the heroic, sticking with the cooldown reduction on face belt for peeling potential. Keep the team safe. Collusion and Lutano being chased down though. They overextended a bit trying to find Nintori. But their speed boost from Collusion gets them out of danger. They stay safe. Skoog's looking for Collusion here. We'll grab the vision. In the meantime, Hosty, who has barely been seen in any of these team fights, is soaking bot, grabbing at the temple. Great face melt again. Wit gets Lutano out. Look at that slow. Exactly what we've been seeing here from Lutano, playing very, very well. And yeah, exactly what we're talking about for Simplicity. The Medivh working very well for Granit Gaming, hence why there's only 1 kill against them, but they haven't been able to utilize it how they wanted to, with a heavy burst style, allowing the Diablo to teleport in and find kills. Instead, they're just being out-macroed, out-chased, with Simplicity finding the kills and running away. We do see the sizzling attacks coming in for the Tychus, keeping with that macro style and a great disengage here. Very sensible. Up the frequency for Lucio, no surprise there. And Falstad giving himself a little bit of disengage, getting a little bit of a speed boost when using that barrel roll with the afterburner. When using barrel roll, gains 60% movement speed, decaying over 3 seconds. It's a nice little disengaged talent, keeps them safe. Imposing presence for ETC. D.Va yet to pick. Will we see the extra diverting power? Yes, we do. A little bit of extra sustain there. And a lot of disruption. Hellraiser, thank you very much for the raid, as we do see Sea Shines acquired by Simplicity. Clearing out any extra soak that they can. Top lane is pushed up. Once again, we finally see the aggression coming out from Granit Gaming. They've been trying to look for this all the game, but they find D.Va with it. D.Va able to back away. They'll clear up the siege camp. In the meantime, Simplicity, they keep playing the map. They're going to take out the Bruiser camp up here and gain even more value. Rampage for Sonya. Really looking to try and pick someone up here. Even go for no escape. Really looking to find someone. They find Cure. Can they utilize this kill? Yes, they can. Finally able to find their kill onto the board. We see the aggression of this Portal engage. Portal will be back up pretty shortly, actually, and Wit is in trouble. Focus down, and Wit, one power slide left to try and escape. Portal can be used to try and finish the job. Portal's dropped. They go through. Face Mel is gorgeous, but Medivh finds the kill. Collusion, who came in for the save, will be picked off as well. And so suddenly Granit Gaming are awake, and they're able to pick up the triple kill and the boss here. Granit Gaming are back in this game suddenly. They've got Executioner, they've got that Rampage, they've got that cooldown reduction on their heroic. Only 12 stacks on Medivh, but 3 kills to 1. Leyline used. That's the best we could say about that. Svemgrotta makes his way back to the team, heading, clearing up. Mid-fort goes down. Boss still pushing in. Top going to be taking shots from that temple now. Killing off the front wall first. Boss will be cleaned out reasonably fast. Neither Tychus or False don't have the fastest clear on a boss, but it's fast enough that they won't take keep damage. It's less of an issue here. Top fort goes down. Fountain will be slayed as well. Evens up the structure count. However, health-wise, Simplicity still a little bit ahead. They have a little bit of an XP lead as well. Lutano clearing minions. Portal. Good knockback by Collusion. Very fast reaction. No stable Portal for Medivh here. Just going for the quick hit and run engages. Leyline finds 3 members. Apocalypse. This time they get ETC. Here's the overpower into the lurking arm, but they charge him out, and suddenly Skoog's in trouble. Stun from Collusion. Knockback from Collusion. They can't get him. That's gonna be Skoog taken out. Using the face melt, the knockback, and the heavy casters, they're able to isolate him out, and that's another kill for Simplicity. Granit Gaming in retreat. 16 stacks on Medivh, who goes back to scouting. Big punishment coming in there. They tried to CC Diablo, but it's Diablo. He tonk. Gonna be the Siege Giants pushing in. They find Collusion, trying to punishing him from being next to walls. They turn it. Great defense matrix for D.Va. The diverting power, that's very risky. This time Skoog gets out. Remember, he has no souls here, so he's in a big trouble. Svemgrotta in huge amounts of trouble. Will be taken out. Is able to get a good arcade explosion to drop several members low, but stacks are lost. Great gust with level 20 to shut that down. They look for Wit one more time, but Wit is living on the edge. The Mighty Gust upgrade a wind tunnel, able to pick them up quite a few kills there. That Medivh is so important. We see the big red button. Bolt of the Storm for Wit now. 50 seconds until Mosh Pit is back up. Bossa Nova, timing attack. Wit again, focused. He's the target. Tanks through, doesn't care. Defense matrix again by Cure. Really good defense here as we see Simplicity backing away. This is being played very well by Simplicity, really trying to punish Granit Gaming, making the most of this. They've had huge macro play. The second they started fighting as a team, Granit Gaming started taking an advantage, but now they're back to macro again. They have an advantage due to Medivh not being on the board, so Falstad's pushing bot. D.Va, Temple top, they are able to finish off mid lane, and they'll be able to get some good damage onto top as well. Apocalypse does not hit Lutano because he was unstoppable. Great Bossa Nova keeps them alive. Big red button as Hosty rotates in to help. It's a 5v4 right now in favor of Granit Gaming, because we do see Cure continuing to soak, and that will guarantee top keep. Bottom keep, in fact, not looking great either. We see the rotation again coming in from Falstad. Hosty heading to bot lane. He wants to push this in and guarantee the third keep of the game. Simplicity are straight up out macroing the members of Granit Gaming. Leyline Seal, one last chance. They try to finish off Wit before this fire happens, and they get him. Sonya was able to find the last 5 shots to steal away from top. Lutano is low. This could be Granit's gaming opportunity to make their way back in it. They lose their last key, but they found the double kill. Siege Giants and Hosty are on their core. Sonya, no one is going back to deal with this. Hosty realizes that his gust is needed. He will be outraced here. He has to come home. His gust is the only thing keeping his team alive. We see Sonya porting back to base to buy time. Wind Tunnel was used, and the core is alive, but it's a 4v3 back here. Sonya ports back and will prevent the Granit Gaming core from dying. That's a bad position to be in by Nick. Nearly got caught out by the core tornadoes. Cure tries to split the team again using the tornado. Here's the self-destruct. Massive shove. Pushes it away. No one is hit. Leyline. They focus the core. It's all about the race right now. Cure comes in with a defense matrix to buy some time. Bossa Nova to keep Hosty alive. He's the damage output. Gust up in 34 seconds, but the core is going down. 7 seconds until ETC. Falstad is down. Cure is doing everything he can to try and delay this. Q illusion is trying to delay as well, but the portals to the other side of the core gets them far away from Cure. Here comes Wit. One last chance. The mosh pit will only find one. And Granit Gaming take game number 2. Number 3, sorry. Feels bad. Granit Gaming able to take a very solid win on that game number 3. They were looking really rough for the while, but all they had to do was to find some kills. That split play of Simplicity was good until you remember there's a Medivh on the team who can portal the entire enemy team onto your split members. And that's exactly what we saw. Utilizing the Medivh to find the angle of engage exactly when they needed it, picked up the kill, and they were able to capitalize on that, pour back to even prevent their core from dying, and as such, Simplicity were outnumbered when it came to the core defense. Granit Gaming, despite what looked like a very rough game, utilized their comp when it needed to be utilized and punished Simplicity for splitting, which is what they've been doing all game. Well played. A well-deserved win by Granit Gaming. They are now 2-1 up in this best of 5, 1 game away from becoming the winners and moving themselves into that highly sought-after top 4 position. Granit Gaming, if they are able to win the next game, they will find themselves to be 6-3, which is, of course, behind Wildheart Esports, but it will importantly be ahead of Simplicity, giving themselves a little bit of space here. In this round, no one else can really overtake them. 30k until he mounts, could of course at best get to the 1 and 2 position, which will put them in line with Sidestep Kings, and if Granit Gaming can win this, Simplicity, meaning that Granit Gaming will have created some distance. That's really what they need right now. They want to create some distance to give themselves a better chance when it comes to the playoffs. Their next week games will not be any easier. Granit Gaming play against Crowd Control, Battle of the European Teams. That might be their toughest matchup. So we'll see if they're able to utilize that to their effect. We also see that Simplicity play against 30k. So this next match coming up will be pretty important to see who is able to take the angles and who's able to take those extra points and move themselves up the board. So I hope you're all enjoying so far. 1 game away in theory for a win going over to Granit Gaming, but Simplicity have the chance to make their way back in. Warcraft 3 Mouse, thank you very much for the follow. If you are enjoying this stream, consider dropping a follow so that you know when I go live. I do almost all the CCL games. The ones I don't do, I do cover via replays on this stream as well, all of which VOD-wise can be found on YouTube too. But if you hit follow, you'll know when I go and do them live, so you can get your name shouted out and talked about on the stream and on the YouTube VOD. If you're enjoying yourself, drop that follow. turn on those alerts so that you can see when I go live. You can also show your support by donating bits or subscribing, and by supporting our sponsor, Simply Nuck Gaming. Their People's Choice Award ends tonight, and as such, this is your last chance to vote on which of their systems receives the bigger Black Friday discount. If you're not doing it for yourself, do it for other people who might want a specific system this Black Friday. Look at them, see which one you think might be a better holiday present or just a better system in terms of price value in your opinion, and make sure you vote for the one what you would want or you think other people would want. Just show some kindness this holiday season, and all you have to do is vote for 3. It's a Twitter poll, and they are supporting the channel. We're down to the Ghost Canyon, small form factor system with an up to i9 and an option for a 270 graphics card in it, or a Vortex, also an i9 system with the option for a full-length graphics card in it. Make sure you hit !SNUC in chat to find the link to the tweet so that you can support them for supporting the channel and Heroes of the Storm. So, we're going to be getting ready to head into game number 4 of this best of 5 series. Could be the last one if Granit Gaming emerge victorious, or will we be heading to a game number 5? We will have to see. Going to be exciting. Going to be exciting either way, and of course we do have another series coming up after this with 30k taking on Chili Mountain. Will 30k be able to make their way out of the 0-2 position with not winning a single series? Will Chili Mountain actually be able to win a map? Or maybe take themselves out of the 0-2 position as well? We will find that out after this series concludes. Plenty of opportunities for action as we have our 4th map. As we head in, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be Infernal Shrines. Let's get this going. Infernal Shrines is the map. And it's going to be Simplicity banning first. No surprise there. Kerrigan shall be removed. This is a great Kerrigan map, and the respect has been earned. Good job, Nick. Well deserved. Medivh going to be counterbanned. Despite that being a very good Simplicity game last game, it's still going to very much boost the Medivh win rate in CCL to an absurd degree. There goes Sylv. Taken out of action. Hello, Ice. What is Medivh's win rate in CCL, I wonder? One there. Okay, I'm quickly counting Medivh's win rate in CCL. I don't think there's a statistic for that. 1-0. There goes your Rel, banned away. And Kroby will be first picked. It worked so well in the first game. Let's see if it works. Sorry, the second game. Let's see if it works in this 4th. Alright, no Medivh in that series, so 1-0. In this series, he did show up, 2-0. This series didn't show up. Tychus stolen away this time. Nick, kind of the innovator for the build that Lutano has been using today. So very fun to see that being taken away now. Nick going to be able to play his Tychus again. So we're on 2-0 right now for Medivh's. Did he get played in this series? He did not. This series, he did not. Varian is back once again, even though Kerrigan's not on the board. We're feeling confident on that. Very fun to see. 3-0, 4-0. 4-0 on that Medivh. Do we see him anywhere else? Unless I have missed some Medivh games, which there's a solid possibility that I may have. It looks to me as the Yorick gets banned. Very sensible. The Yorik's very, very solid. Especially into Diva. Can hold well enough, but is such a nuisance in the team fights. And there goes Deathwing. Second Yorick's gone. It's like, oh, this might happen. Get that out of the question. 5-0. Unless my maths is wrong, if you include today's game, Medivh is 6-0 in CCL. Across all the teams. All the games, all the teams. What happened? There we go. Alright, Diablo Mephisto. That is a scary setup here. We see just how terrifying Mephisto can be on this map and on to Volskaya Foundry as well. And Varian lacking a little bit of self-sustain. That shield wall's a long cooldown against Mephisto. Could really burn you down with that lower health pool. Simplicity now. They have the lockdown. They have an immediate bit of burst. Need an offlaner. Malthael it shall be to deal with that Diablo. Even more finishing potential. It's a very burst-heavy team for them. And Greymane to burst follow-up as well. They're all about this Varian kill potential here. Taunt, Lurking Arm, Virulent Reaction later, and then Chromie and Greymane kill the target. Let's see if it's enough. What's the final pick for Granit Gaming? Only one assassin so far. The two assassins. They finally picked their healer. It's going to be Anduin. Leap of Faith. Very good to counteract the comp we're seeing here, but it's a long cooldown again. It's going to be very much down to Granit Gaming to try and capitalize on this effectively and really deal with the amount of pressure that is being applied onto them. But again, they will have that Leap of Faith that will keep them safe. They could go for Salvation, but there's only Taunt. Ice Howler, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying yourself while you're here. Didn't 30k lose a Medivh game? I thought they had as well. Let me quickly recheck the 30k games. Not there. Not there. If they did, I can't find it, and I'm a silly boy who can't see things. Because I don't see it. I don't see it. Unless it was in the Icebreaker, which we're not counting at the moment. Who am I co-casting with? I'm not. I'm not co-casting. Unless you're looking at the co-stream, which means I am co-streaming I'm co-streaming from the mainstream using a clean feed. So, let's get into the game, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading into game number 4 of this best of 5. On the right-hand side, it shall be Simplicity, Cure, Collusion, Hosty, Lutano, and Wit. And on the right, Granit Gaming, with Henning, Nintori, Skook. We see Nick, and we have, chilling in the bottom, Svamgrotta. I have a very hard time voting against Mephisto's, because the damage output is so good. Unsurprising grenade build, the build that Nick has been using most of his game so far. Going to be coming in. Fear the Reaper for the Malthael. Vision from Hosty. Going to be able to scout that way. We see a lot of focus onto Cure, but Nintori holding out for now. Full metal for Nintori this time. Wants to be sustaining well. He's against Malthael, and right now, he's against Greymane. You can see Nick hovering around in the top lane, seeing if this is going to be the case. Skook charges a minion to try and get in range for Collusion to try and overpower him. Ooh, the spray BM. Freaking toxic, bruh. You're going to come up here. Nintori's in the wrong neighborhood, but we'll be able to boost out and get to safety. Going to be a slow game at the start. I'm very curious if we will see a Salvation here. Right now, the interrupts to Salvation are Lurking Arm, Temporal Loop, and Taunt. That's not many. And honestly, Salvation against Chromie and Malthael might be pretty beastly here. Light Bomb could be good as well, though, because Diablo is a great engage for that and will really set up some good stuns engages, and they could, in theory, Light Bomb APOC. But that Salvation could be the saving grace. I think it's going to depend how much aggression they take, just like that. Lutano and Hosty pick up the kill onto Nick. Svamgrotta, though, doing what Mephisto does best and just eats through Lutano's health pool. Force him to back away as level 4, though. With that kill, it's hit a little bit earlier for Simplicity. They can, of course, get their Biotic armor once again. Served them well. Die alone. Not going to go with the extra... Nice spray. Not going to go with the extra damage, single target damage here for the Malthael this time. Because can't believe they gave Skook Diablo after last game. Well, he's pretty freaking good. They wanted that Chromie. What can I tell you? And Chromie's pretty good. If you saw game number 2, the Chromie is definitely worth it. Cure takes quite a lot of damage here. Nick with the gank once again to try and focus down Cure and to heal. Not enough. This is smart that they're playing this like this, with Nick coming up here every now and again, because again, Cure's gone for die alone. In case the talent name didn't give it away, that implies it does better when you are alone. So being able to punish him for that by sitting 2 people up to reduce the value actually works out quite well. We see another aggression matrix coming in. Just no chill on this D.Va. Anti-healing is pretty good though, so don't blame him here. Insatiable for Greymane, mana sustained. It's a lot of focus to chase him down. Moral Compass coming in for Anduin. And a Fire Stomp for Skoog. With the Soul Shield as well. Look at this comp. Soul Shield is absolutely what you want here. Heading nice through, protects himself from Wit. Nitori dropped a little low, but tanking through. Full metal to sustain. Gonna immediately self-destruct as Wit comes in to prevent the taunt here. Their Bruiser Camp is pushing in top lane. The longer they can delay this, better value they will get as they look for the defense to hold the point. 24 to 27. Looking pretty close here, turning the focus onto Cure. Trying to get him. Skoog is sniped down. There's the taunt. Good leap of faith, but the damage over time, not enough actually. Trying to snipe it, threading the needle. Hosty, you kidding me? Hosty finds the kill, threads the needle past heading, and just pops Mephisto. Samgrota in the face here. Samgrota taken out as they push in. That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. Medallion used by Nick to try and bait the Punisher over the wall so they can defend it safer. And for good reason, Slowing Sands now available for Chromie. Cocktail build coming in, by the way, for the Greymane. A little bit of extra burst that way. Rare that we see that talent these days. The anti-healing. Little scary, having to deal with it. Trying to get some damage onto Cure, not enough here. Cure just tanking through and will make his way back up to top lane to again match up with Nitori. Full Divine Star build so far coming in from Anduin. And D.Va. Again, Nitori. It's very similar to last time's build, sticking with the exact same style. It's really interesting that every D.Va player in CCL seems to have a very different style. The Aggression Matrix and Fusion Generator coming in again for Nitori. Making the most of the fact that he's going anti-heals, he picks up Fusion Generator too. But sometimes he still picks up, hit the Nitros. Very interesting. Nick backs away. Got engaged on. Nice little teleport by Cure, keeps himself safe. Lots of damage being done. Nick sustains through, but that Slowing Sands is a real nuisance. Samgrota escapes real pain and damage. They throw out grenades to clear the minions. Chromie slays the gate. The power of Chromie really showing up here. That Slowing Sands proving to be such a nuisance to deal with. Massive shove as we actually have full level 10s on board now. Cure gonna die before getting the chance to even pick theirs. We're gonna be seeing the accursed bullet shield wall. Level 10 just around the corner for Granit Gaming. A Simplicity. Nathaniel does delay picking theirs. Last Rites could be good, but he will wait to see what the Anduin picks. Gonna be the Odin, of course. Durus of Hate. Lightning Breath, and it is! It's Salvation coming in here from the Anduin. Very fun to see. Micro Missiles on the side of D.Va. The Salvation again with so few interrupts. Really smart here. And that suddenly makes Last Rites a little bit harder to pick up here, but it still might be the more sensible choice because it's going to have, if he's able to stack it, a much lower cooldown than Salvation, meaning he might be able to force out Salvation to save lives. The big team fight heroic before fights happen with a very hard burst style. Because they already have a very good single target kill comp. He doesn't though. He decides to sustain through. He's going to have to sustain his way through this Salvation. So he's decided to do it with Tormented Souls. This will give him a little bit more self-sustain so he won't get immediately turned on. The second Salvation goes down and punished. Still a very viable strategy. Skoog, taunted, focused. Leap of Faith, immediately burned. They turn it around onto Cure, massive shove. Durus only hits the backline. Timeout immediately shuts that down. Heroics burned on both sides, neither one able to find a kill. They make their way back. Wit. Charged, not hitting the wall this time though. Skoog taunted, they try to focus it, Cure is there. Remember, no Tormented Souls available yet. Lightning Breath will melt Cure, has to burn the medallion. Lutano is desperately trying to win the race here, up to 7 stacks on his cocktail. To be able to get out of the self-destruct, massive shove, burned again, forces Skoog back. The Odin is dropped 26 to 14 right now. Bruiser's pushing in the top lane, matching each other. But it's gonna be the objective going over to Granit Gaming here, who will hold the line. They will sustain their way through. Nicely done by them. They pressure their way forward. Siege camp being pressured a little bit. Going to be taken a lot slower by Granit Gaming. They have people waiting on the objective. Lion's Maw is complete by Varian. That's a lot of extra burst added to their wombo. Shattering Throw. Interesting Shattering Throw, actually. Who's that going to affect? That's going to affect pretty much only Mephisto. And D.Va if she goes emergency shielding. They back away. D.Va, by the way, target locked. Full defense matrix build this time. Again, making the most of the low CC. This seems to be the key. Less CC, more defense matrix talents. They hold. Stun. Good power. Good Night Thrust boosting out. Tormented Souls. Good damage on the backline though. Cure really turning this. Self-destruct is burned. Massive shove sends the self-destruct into Austria as Nintori. Able to remake up after taking some damage from Lutano and survive. Mid 4. Barely survived as well. Good defense by Simplicity here. And a win, by the way. Bringing us the speed of the Pious. I'm curious if he'll go for a Holy Nova, because he's all in on this W build. Getting that Divine Star in every time. Tygus gets his slows. Will he get armor-piercing rounds next level? We will have to see. Yeah, D.Va target locked now. Armor reduction and slows. Going to be good for AoE fights. They get that armor reduction plus Tychus if he goes to that armor-piercing rounds. Could be a very high amount of damage output. Just maximize the AoE here. Could be smart. There's the charge. Taunt. Looking for Skoog. Tanks through. Backs away. Takes a little bit of damage. Cocktail is complete. Dungrotta does some good damage. Able to disengage. They try to get Skoog. Durance is Medallion. Beautifully done by Wit there. Absolutely insane reaction time. Very nicely done. Mephisto, as a reminder, going at level 7 for the Ghastly Armor. Gets 20 armor. And that's still why I'm kind of confused why we have this Shattering Throw. Because right now it doesn't even affect Mephisto. Oh no, it does, doesn't it? Static Barrier, yes. 40% of the damage dealt to heroes is the level 4 on Mephisto. That's it. I was forgetting that talent, but it's the only one it affects. It only affects Mephisto so far, unless we see emergency shielding from D.Va. Alrighty, so. There we go. Yes, I missed the level 4. That is the explanation here. Bruiser camp being taken. Not finished yet. Scouted by Simplicity. But they're not going to go in for it. They choose to focus top lane instead. Not a full Shadow Charge, but not a full Firestop build for Skoog. Missing out on the level 16 in exchange for the reset on it, which is extra, more sustain. Value to be gained there. Good focus. Grabbing themselves their own Bruiser camp. This will be timed reasonably well with the objective so that when the fight starts on it, they might be able to get the value. You can see Tychus already making their way up here. They're going to have basically everyone here. A little bit of a slow rotation from Nick, but he is here. There's the armor reduction and anti-heal. Nick from over the wall, slowing and good damage, but it's still Mephisto from Grotto, who is finished off first. Salvation not landing. They were a little split there for that fight. No salvation is able to be utilized there. Very interesting. No percentage damage for Mephisto as well, by the way. Going with Animosity. Getting that increased duration. And the maximum bonus damage increased to 42% from 30. Top 4 goes down. Simplicity really capitalizing now. Begin to push their way in. They begin to siege the keep. Whip, making the most of shield wall to block a lot of that damage. They're going to take down as much of the front wall as possible. Letting Malthael clean that out. Cure getting them that Punisher to capitalize in and push with them. Times it. Skoog has to burn the Diabolical Shield here. Chromie counter sieges, but good sustain that time. The armor. Ghastly armor on level 7 keeps Mephisto tanked up this time. But Punisher's on the way. It's now 5v5. Can they sustain? It's pre-level 20. Talons are still pretty much even. Good medallion by Nintori. Has to boost a little bit. Self-destruct to the corner. Keeps the Punisher there. They make sure it takes the damage. Gonna back away Skoog. Has to get around the Frost Punisher. The keep will die here. Stun. Cursed. Have to use the leap of faith. Oh, I thought I had that set up. Sorry, big guns. I'll fix that later. Punisher gonna be focused down. And taken out. Wave is cleared. Banner of Dalaran, by the way, for the Varian again. Make the most of that spell power. I mean, with Chromie, it keeps working. It just keeps working. Why on earth or not? Nintori backs away. Stays safe. Wit dives in. Cursed bullet. Nintori just gets out. Here comes Skoog from the side. The anti-heal and anti-armor from Nintori forces Cure to back away. That was a risky fight here. XP still even. This fort will go down, and finally we'll start to see Simplicity begin to creep ahead in XP here. But Granit Gaming, this is just like last game. Even though Simplicity looks like they've been winning all game, it's only really going to take one fight for Granit Gaming to turn this on its head. If they win the next objective, for example, they will have level 20s. They'll be able to push into a keep because it's the only fort they've killed, and they might be able to turn that into a win. It's unreal that Granit Gaming are in a position where they might be able to win this from here, but Simplicity are looking to try and not let that happen. They are 4 kills to 2. They're creeping forward. You see scouting with the banner, scouting with Hosty. They want to take out this fort. This is their next Punisher as well. Remove the fort, puts extra keep pressure on. They can try and get their second keep of the game. Wit playing well, really flanking effectively here. They're putting a lot of focus onto killing Skoog here when they can. Skoog's really doing his best to try and set up counter engages for his team. We're not seeing those big objective fights that Granit have been looking for to try and make the most of that salvation so far. Simplicity waiting on their bruiser. Granit Gaming starting theirs, letting Nintori do it. Able to sustain through a full metal very easily. A little bit of extra healing from Heading, because why not? Level 20. So, how are Granit Gaming still closest to 20? The lanes are pushed up to them. They're able to soak in, but the fort's taken out. Forts really just feel like they do nothing now outside of spawning catapults. That periodic XP just does not feel impactful. We're going to be seeing top lane cleaned up, and that's level 20 for Granit Gaming. Going to be achieving that first. Adamantium plating for Diva Hellgate. Big red button. Upgrade endurance. We see the unspeakable horror. That's silencing now. Skoog has to back away. There's level 20. In exchange, though, Skoog forced to back up. Very nearly put in danger. Glyph of Faith. Very smart for Anduin. They need those extra pulls. None can stop Death. Top off. for the Stukov with the banner, which is already dropped. Glory to the Alliance. Big red button will snipe the banner. Here comes the Tormented Souls into the backline. Hennig and Skoog separated from the team, though. They split again. Svamgrota, a little bit of a rough position. Lightning Breath has to be used to protect Svamgrota, but they still find the angle. Self-destruct. They make their way back in. Massive shove. Not a great angle. They steal a lot of shots there. 16 to 17. Big red button sieges in, but they won't have a huge amount of duration left as they try to turn it on to win. Salvation is good. Svamgrota, though, is focused down. Shattering Throw breaks through the shield. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Hennig taken out in exchange for Cure. Svamgrota makes it around the wall, but they're looking low. It's 30 to 31 as Granit Gaming are looking to try and hold. Down goes Diablo, but it's Souls. He will reset, but that's going to force Nick to back up. Wit is at full health, and they will be forced to give up this Punisher. With none can stop death, turning Malthael to the fight. Anduin not so lucky. Diablo is back, but has no souls. As the Punisher pushes in. They break through the sidewall. They're hunting here. Here comes the dive. Skoog looking for Cure, who dives the backline. The Punisher is baited by Svamgrota. That's good. They turn on Cure, and they will get him. Tormented Souls. No support from the team. Cure went a bit too deep there, and will be punished. Anduin's back in 11 seconds. It's 4v4. Nick healing up. They drop the missiles. This lag is not on my side. I am sorry. It is on the clean feed. Nintori backs up. Plays it safe. Skoog holding as best he can. The core's going down. Simplicity looking to even up the score. Skoog goes deep, dives it, flips, pulled in. Glyph of Faith keeps him alive. A Punisher comes in to shut it down. Salvation is a second too late as the Punisher is dropping low. Self-destruct to try and buy time. Massive shove sends it away. And we are heading to a game at number 5. Nicely done. Simplicity take us to a game number 5. Granit Gaming put on the back foot. Yeah, I'm really sorry about the clean feed. It is lagging quite a bit. It's not best quality as is, but we just have to deal with what we have, unfortunately. We take what they give us, even if it is a pretty rough quality clean feed. We just do what we can here. There we go. I've given it a quick refresh. Maybe that'll help. Alrighty. Let's have a look here. As we prepare for game number 5 now. There will be a quick break in it, which I will use as well as the main stream to actually run to the bathroom. You can see Stukov there healing as much as he could. Malthael, all the deaths on his team, because they could. Cure was the one who could be sacrificed there. Nicely done by Cure. Really, even though he was sacrificed, was played very well. But Wit, the patience and engaged potential held until the last moment was very well done. Hennig, I like that they went Salvation, but the split was a little rough. The break will be 2-3 minutes, enough time for me to run to the bathroom and come back, basically. Talents-wise, the Glyph of Faith without the burst, and no Holy Nova either. He just went for the extra quick burst heal. The Adamantium plating for Nintori just did not help out. Mephisto, I like that they did go for the extra damage, but the percentage damage is such a good burst that might have been enough to scare them off. But in this case, Collusion, not Smurfing. Want to know if you can make food? No 30-minute breaks, I'm afraid. 5 games casting solo. Take your time, dude. 5 games casting. We're only at 4. Only at 4. Mainstream takes a break after every 2. That's why I know I can do it. Alrighty, let's see if there is there's an interview on the mainstream though. I can maybe leave you with that. So let's see if we have an interview on the mainstream. We do not. Okay, so I'm going to put it on a break screen, and when we come back, we will be ready for game number 5 of this best of 3 series. I'll put 4 minutes just to be short. So 06:23 my time. Okay. 3 minutes, 21 seconds. So I'm going to head to a break. You love me? Thank you very much, Speak Truth to Power. I love you and everyone who has to come here to watch today. Thank you very much. Why do I sound like a cult leader? I'll be right back in about 3 minutes, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with game number 5 between Simplicity and Granit Gaming. See you all in a bit. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Excuse me. Throat's a little rough, but I am alive, and I am ready for the next game. Unfortunately, we still have a little bit because the main stream is taking a little bit longer with their break, so we are going to have to wait for them. But we can talk about the maps that we have seen so far. Assuming I don't decide to randomly die. Excuse me, Throat, what you doing? So, in terms of the series we have seen so far, Simplicity, unable to fall back on that Genji-style play, but they do now have a 100% win rate with Varian, able to pick up members of Granit Gaming consistently, using different drafts each time, with the only consistent factor being Chromie between those two drafts, with Chromie showing up in both of those styles. They also had that Sky Temple game where they were very close to winning until a quick turnaround from Granit Gaming. That also showed the Tychus that played very, very well in game number 2. So Tychus and Chromie appear to be two pretty solid success factors for Simplicity at the moment, and Varian, being a big deciding factor, has played very, very well for them. However, on the side of Granit Gaming, it's a little bit less clear as to where their success is coming from, with both of their winning drafts being completely different. They are currently 1 and 2 with D.Va today, unsuccessful in games number 2 and 4, but successful in game number 1. Their Kerrigan also only 1 and 1, winning game number 1 on Dragonshire, unsuccessful due to the very good bait draft of Simplicity on Cursed Hollow in match number 2. Their Imperius has only shown up once, and they have actually played a different tank in almost every single game until we came along with that last game. In game 1, it was Johanna, game 2, Imperius, and then game 3 and 4, it was Diablo. Ruining a good thing we had going on there. So, the question is, what changes can we make to try and end this from either team? For starters, Simplicity, I don't think there's anything they really need to change. Their drafting, honestly, has felt a little bit more prepared than Granit's for me. Granit are trying to dictate their own game and play their own style, whereas Simplicity are trying to play around Granit, and I think that's working very, very well for them. On the side of Granit Gaming, I think they just need to start dealing with that Chromie a lot more, maybe give it a bit more respect and ban it out. They have first pick here, so they're going to be probably trying to force that Medivh to be banned out by Simplicity, who should ban it, and that leaves maybe another ban option open for Granit Gaming to get rid of that Chromie. We have the draft set up, ladies and gentlemen, so let's head in to game number 5, Battlefield of Eternity, where again, Chromie leaps very high up in priority, so I would not be surprised to see her getting removed. Granit Gaming, first pick, first ban. There's of course some really good race heroes that need to be removed as well. Li Ming, Greymane, Reyna, Hanzo. I'm going to start off with the Yorel ban, interestingly enough. Yorel is again very disrupting for a lot of the stuff that we do see playstyle-wise from Granit. Simplicity, saving Granit the effort here. They are the ones to ban out the Chromie. That's going to save a little bit of effort here. Varian shall be removed here. Sorry about the audio cutting out. There means the Clean Feed Observer tagged out. And there's that Medivh ban. Very sensible here. So, Granit Gaming. They still have quite a few solid options here. They have the Cassia, but they also have top priority in terms of racers. Reyna, we're looking at Li Ming. I think Li Ming is probably going to be the target here because she seems to be the most popular hero on this map. Although, it would be the first time we see Li Ming. In fact, yeah, we don't. No Li Ming coming in from Granit Gaming as to today. Maybe it's a little bit of a weak spot in their drafting style as Sramgrota picks up the Sylvanas, which is still very fair. Before today's games, had a 100% win rate with Sylvanas, and they haven't played it yet today. It's been banned every single round by Simplicity. So finally, Sramgrota is going to be able to get his hands on that. 2-0 so far. Simplicity, they get Imperius, and they get Li Ming. We talked about it being maybe a weak spot for Granit Gaming. It's so stolen away instead. They are more than happy to play Li Ming 1-0, and Imperious 1-0 as well. A very burst-heavy composition that they have set up. Very cool to see. So, it's a good setup for them with Decade K still available. We have Brightwing still available, but we might see that banned out by Granit. Brightwing would be great follow-up for Li Ming. But Ana's also an issue. I think Ana will have to be banned out by Granit. Simplicity, they will remove that Diva. It's been a consistent issue multiple times, so it will just be taken away. It's had a low win rate today again, as we already mentioned. It is only 1-2 for Granit Gaming here, but it's still going to be taken away. It's definitely something that Entoria likes to lean on. So they decide just to not, in Simplicity, get it out of here. Granit Gaming, final ban. I think it kind of has to be Ana. It's not. They let it go through. They instead ban Garrosh. Garrosh into Muradin is a little bit hard to deal with. If Muradin already uses his Dwarf Toss, he can be caught out very quickly. And of course, Garrosh into Stukov is a risky play. Will Simplicity play the Ana? Will they go for that Li Ming Nano Boost style? They have not played Ana to date. Is today the day where they would bring it in? They get Tychus for Lutano. And a Nubarak for Cure. The off-lane Nubarak or the off-lane Imperious. More likely here to be the off-lane Imperious. Very interesting to see. But we've seen this before. Wit, playing on another team back in Europe, ran as the Imperious, rotating basically as the offlaner, but having a main tank who would hold the offlane every time they needed gank potential, using the Imperious as the ganker to rotate in while having someone else hold the lane for him. Final pickups for Granit Gaming, Cassia, and they get themselves the Blaze. Very frontline heavy, very tanky. Make space for Sylve, make space for Cassia. Allow them to do their jobs without being pressured by Imperious. And the Nubarak, very smart. Gives them a lot of protection here, a lot of crowd control. And now Simplicity, there's that Ana. Their first time playing Ana. They have now the Nano Boost Li Ming, Nano Boost Imperious, and even Nano Boost Odin Tychus. Could be very hard to deal with here. A scary composition from both sides. I'm curious. It's very hard to vote against Ana Li Ming if Cure, who is going to be the one playing that Imperious as the offlaner, if Cure plays the percentage damage Imperious, which he should, I think, this game, then that could be a very, very hard game for the members of Granit Gaming. It's going to be tough. It is going to be very tough. I hope you're all enjoying the show, ladies and gentlemen. If you are, consider dropping a bit donation, a donation using Streamlabs below, or a subscription. I'm not being paid by Heroes Hearth or Wisdom to do this. I do this because I love Heroes, but I can keep doing it only thanks to support from people like you who watch this show and enjoy the casting, I hope, that I do provide you, and by people like these guys, Simply Nuck Gaming, who for the remainder of this month and for the start of this month have been sponsoring me with their People's Choice campaign, where I've been promoting the fact that you can vote on Twitter for which of their systems has the bigger Black Friday discount. We're down to Ghost Canyon and we are down to Vortex. Both very powerful machines, small form factors, incredibly quiet, and one of them is going to have a fantastic Black Friday deal. Let's head into the game, ladies and gentlemen, where we will decide who will be winning this series, as this is the final game of this best of 5 series. We have Granit Gaming versus Simplicity. We start this up. Of course, remember there is another series coming up after this of Chili Mountain versus 30k. And there it is. My hopes are not dashed. Burn the Impure. Coming in from the Imperious. Percentage damage, very important. Ooh, Beetle build coming in for Wit here. Blocking the Storm Bolts with that and blocking the Thunder Furies coming in from Cassia. Reactionary style. Cure overextends. Cure focus down. Cure Celestial Charge over the wall. You can use it to escape, by the way. Cure's gonna back up, and with the great sleep dart from Collusion, Cure gets out. Great turnaround. Fantastic save by Simplicity. Saving the day. Simplicity will live and not become first blood here. It's going to be Li Ming versus Sylvanas in the bot lane. That classic lane matchup. Finally, we'll see people begin rotating down and we'll begin to have a more standard lane setup by the looks of it. Unless, yeah, we're going to see a couple members of Simplicity stay top. And they're just going to try and grab the Siege Camp instead. Which does mean, of course, Granit Gaming will mirror the same in the bot lane and they will grab the Siege Camp of their own. New habits, risky play by the Blaze here. It's a very hard map to stack globes on, but you don't need that much. Getting that Unstoppable versus a Nubrak and Imperius is very important. So taking the risk, stacking the globes, late game is going to be very important. It also means he can go anti-damage build, which will help a lot against that Tychus and against Imperius. Skoog tries to bully him out. It's a perfect Storm build. 2 stacks so far on that Storm Bolt. Good stun. Dwarf Toss over the wall. Cure flanking in. Tries to punish Skoog. A little bit of percentage damage. Doesn't land on Nick, though. Nick's able to disengage pretty easily there. Clear their way through. And Cure's already back to top. Nintori has been clearing safely, playing his own game here, not worrying too much. Just be backing away, keeping everything under control. Bruiser Camp going over to both teams, being cleared out quite quickly. Possession comes in for Sylvanas. Makes sense, not going to be rotating between lanes, so you want to keep the lane pressure going very hard. You're going to be near a catapult more often. Might as well make sure that you have that extra little bit of minion power. A noob going in for a little bit of shed exoskeleton. A little bit of speed boost. Skoog sidestepped by Cure beautifully. Cure has no time for those Storm Bolts. Alrighty, first objective spawns. Cure lands the first hit, but is immediately zoned away by Skoog, Nick, and Henning, who are going very aggressive. Wit tries to demount someone, but he hits nothing. Nintori comes in from the side. Both teams dealing with Bruiser Camp's focus onto Cure. Here's in a little bit of trouble. A lot of CC. Anti-heal grenade is dropped. Cure being healed from a distance. Collusion trying to find the angle. Keeps the healing up, and Cure will live very barely. Drop low. Will have to top up at the fountain, which is nearby. Henning eats an orb, though. He's going to be forced to back up as well. He is the healer, though. Healing will be incoming. The creeping aggression of Simplicity. A noob stepping forward, keeping the beetle spawning. Hosty and Collusion moving forward with the aim down sides of Collusion to keep the pressure on and keep sieging. As Tychus right now takes over the race. Making his way back to top, though. Make sure they don't miss any experience. And with that, the halftime show will go over to Granit. A solid 6,000 health lead for Granit Gaming right now, as they will win this first Immortal. No reaction from Simplicity, who instead choose to try and soak their way up to level 7. Very easy win there. 9,000 health. Going to be pushing into the bottom lane. Bigger they are, no surprise there. Level 7, hit earlier by Granit Gaming, despite the double soaking of Simplicity, the objective soak. Giving them quite the boost. There's that crossfire. No meltdown, by the way, for Blaze, so a bit of a different build here. I believe that's a decent petroleum, but I will double check. Black Arrow already being used, disabling the one remaining tower. They have Sledgehammer as well, so their building clear is pretty fast. Sledgehammer plus Black Arrows equals a bad time for Simplicity. They make their way forward. Sieging in with the Thunder Fury. Nick tries to poke. Immortal down into melee mode. Trying to find their angle. It's oil dispersal, by the way. We're going to see them back away. Granit Gaming grabbing the first fort of the game, but not playing hyper aggressive. They still go to back up. The Beetles only being used by the looks of it to tank through some of these shots, as we already mentioned, from Muradin and Cassia, as they do not continue into a Beetle build, instead going with the chitinous plating. Cooldown reduction on the shield, which means more speed, which means a noob move fast. We're going to be a speedy bug. Dwarf Toss upgrades for Muradin, giving him that heavy land, that heavy impact, heavy landing, I believe. Nope, heavy impact, I was wrong. Giving him that extra slow. Sylve, going for a more burst style here, goes for the Festering Wounds. Applying 3 stacks of that Banshee's Curse, allowing them to immediately start bursting someone. There's going to be a backline dive Sylve build who will go for the Windrunner. Lots of CC onto Skoog, not enough to finish the job. Or just short of finding people on Granit Gaming as well. In the meantime, Nick soaking bot lane. Sleep Dart again. Big charge, and that's rough for Skoog, but he makes it back. Does have the trait, obviously, that will allow them to heal up, but it's still going to port and get sustained. They keep everything going on the Bruiser Camp side. No Siege Camps left to pick up. Bruiser Camps will just be mirrored almost simultaneously, a slight bit quicker for Granit Gaming. Game slows down, not too much. Both just waiting for their opportunity to strike. Race pretty even this time when both teams actually fully show up for it and actually go for the full race. Very small amount between the two of them. Thunder Fury, Nick making the most of the fact that he is a very poke-heavy hero. Hosty, same though. Missing a couple arcane missiles there, but landing the orb. Big damage outputs. Only 300 between the two teams. Wailing Arrow, burn, they don't land the thrusters. Great Celestial Charge! There's the Leeming reset. Skoog gets in the bunker, but Angelic Armaments deletes them. That was brutal. Hennig escapes from the cocoon, but he might not escape his death. Orb lands, Celestial Charge, interrupted by the Immortal. Immortal saving the day. There's the wave of force. Down goes Hennig, but Svamgrotta comes in for the save. Not able to do so. And Simplicity just wrecked them. They walked in, they tried to use the jet propulsion from Blaze to set themselves up for the engage, but because the stun didn't land, they couldn't get the kill. Immediately, we see Cure turn around with the 3-man Celestial Charge with Flash of Anger and Burn the Impure, and no one stood a chance. Absolute murderization from the Penetrative Patriarch. Wit moves in. Cure finds another stun onto Nintori. You can see that huge chunk of damage from Flash of Anger and from Burn the Impure. They make their way forward. Sieging their way in, creating pressure. Missiles landing onto Nick Skoog. Just avoiding the pain. That is the fort down. 1 for 1 in terms of force, and that Immortal already down to half health and will be cleaned up very quickly. Instead, we see a Nubarak looking to try and help the team push in bot lane. Quick reaction from Granit Gaming, but none of their assassins are down here. Big charge, nicely done onto Nintori, but immediately able to use new habits, which he stacked, by the way, very quickly. Nicely done. Level 13 just around the corner for Simplicity as they have extended their way into a quite solid lead here. Not bad. Nicely done. You see the trap set by Simplicity. Will they try and make their way onto this camp? They'll be too late to interrupt it, but can they trap on the rotation? No one is showing. Who's going to scout? Nick should be able to scout that bush. He doesn't. Hosty is the only one showing right now. It's a trap. Nick charged. Stun for the follow-up. That frees Nick, who's able to back away. Medallion's out to avoid the whip follow-up stun. And that will be the full disengage. However, Nintori is here. They decide against the full team fight with level 13 advantage now on the board. Urticating Spines coming in for Wit here. Standard build for Lutano and Nick, both of them running the same Tychus build these days. With slight alterations from time to time. Smelling Salt's going to be a really big deal. Wit dodges Skoog there. Unable to find the full kill. Illusionist, no surprise here. Here's level 13. There's that Windrunner, as predicted. Windrunner plus Festering Wounds Might of the Banshee Queen equals some of the best backline murder potential that you will see on any hero. It's a very powerful build by Svamgrotta. He's not hunting frontliners. He's hunting Ana. And that's why we're going to be seeing that play. Muradin, 40 seconds left until Avatar. 26 seconds until Wailing Arrow. The only two heroics that have been used. Still, 230 seconds until Medallion of Cassia, though. The most high cooldown one. Muradin will have his back soon. That will help a lot. Bronze Mid Rage, standard level 13 now for Muradin. Suppressive Fire for Blaze. Spell power reduction. Pressure is out of Lutano. Backs away. Void's getting caught out of position here. Skoog. Dwarf Toss gets out of danger. Look at that charge! Nintori caught out. Wit with the setup there. They're able to find the finishing blow. And Holstein begins the siege. Cure steps up quite far. Angelic Armaments has to be used, though, as Cocoon was burned. Lots of crowd control. Nano Boost onto a silenced Hosty. Great turnaround from Svamgrotta to prevent that being worse than it was, but they still lost Muradin. Skoog is down. Simplicity pushing in. Going to be seeing the Immortal going over. Top 4 just went down to the Bruiser camp, though, so that is a win for Granit Gaming. With the Immortal on half shield, though. How quickly can they clear it? If they can save their fort, they're actually going to save this. They're actually going to have traded reasonably well. They're still behind in XP. They clean up best they can. Wit makes his way in. Good Stormbolt from Skoog. Buys them time. Maybe a Sledgehammer, so they are burning through that very quickly. But Cure is hunting for a kill. They're gonna have to sacrifice this. As great as it would have been to try and save that fort, they have to give it up. Sleep Dart, that's exactly why overextending at this point is such a bad thing. Avatar gets burned. Skoog trying to hold. Lutano chases him in. Skoog survives. The save there from Henning. The Avatar just in time. Never mind. Celestial Charge. Cure says absolutely not. That's going to be the double kill going over. Ana actually picks up the kills there. The push comes in. They clear out the turret. Cure is on fire. They look for Nintori. Orb lands. They stun Svamgrotta. So the Wailing Arrow hits no one. Svamgrotta is down. Hosty decides to go play on a different map thanks to the massive shove. But Simplicity push their way in right now. They are able to take down the first keep of the game. Spawn timers are still too low to end. But they are on fire right now. And not just from Blaze. Granit Gaming on the back foot. They've been in worse positions, but this one certainly ain't good. Their first keep is down. They have Virulent Reaction now, though. That's going to be a great pick potential talent for them, but right now, Cure is schooling them. The percentage damage from this Imperius is proving to be very hard to deal with. Next Immortal won't be up for a while. Siege Camp available in top lane, bot already captured by Simplicity. Simplicity make their way up as Granit Gaming, in game number 5 of this series, to decide who stays in the top 4 and who moves to 5th. They have to fight their way through. They just hit 16. Will of the Forsaken for Cassia. That's going to be a big boost to the survivability. Sorry, for Sylvanas. It's going to be a big boost to the survivability of Sylvanas. Cassia going with the static electricity. A little bit of extra burst here. A little bit of extra Q stacks. Cure moves forward, finds a large group of people. Only hits Skoog. They turn around. Virulent Reaction, but they're not in position to kill. They can't afford to take the risk of diving at that point. They didn't have the positioning on Wit as well. That's the issue. Both of them can CC an entire team. Makes it very hard to find positioning as Hosty starts to win the race. Skoog gets melted. Bigger they are. Celestial Charge has to burn Avatar. Anti-heal is dropped by Ana. Nano Boost has already been burned as well, so this is a commitment. Big Wailing They move forward. Wave of Force is dropped. Cocoon. They're going to try and set this up. Bunker dropped very nicely here, but it's not enough. Down goes Skoog. A perfect engage by Cure, who also finds the kill onto Cassia. They're in full retreat. Hennig has nowhere to go, and it looks like this might be it, folks, as Simplicity push their way in. 30 seconds left until Muradin. They're rushing bot. They're going to try and race against the respawn timers. It's a 5 versus 2 right now. The rotation's a little slow, but Collusion heals up the team. It's up to 2 members, Svamgrotta and Nintori. Nintori tries to hold. The damage is so high. He tanks through. Bigger than using that new habits. He holds. He dodges. They're baiting. They're buying time. Respawn's coming out, but they still lose Nintori, making this a 5 versus 4. But they've spent so much time staggering that kill that they would not have won the game. They back up. They win the Immortal. Very little Granit Gaming can do about that. Level 20. Just around the corner for Simplicity, who hold a 2-level lead. Halftime show does buy Granit some time. Next Immortal, we're pushing into the top lane. They move defensively. Everyone is here. Cassia very far off to the side here. They make their way in. Nick from the back. Fend! It's a big burst! Granit Gaming found their angle. They look for Cure, making the most of someone being back at the fountain. They look for Hosty. Medallion is used. It's time perfectly. Virulent reaction not available, though, as Hosty will escape. Cure is stunning out. Again, they're looking for Skoog. He is able to get a huge amount of percentage damage onto him, but it's not enough. Nintori is now back. 40 seconds until Anna and until Tychus. This is Granit Gaming's moment. This is their chance. Virulent reaction not found again, as Svamgrotta dodges. Shots coming in, trades back and forth, but Granit Gaming can't find another kill, but they can find Race. Nick tries to race down the Immortal. Svamgrotta going to come help out with that. Hosty is fishing. He's trying to find anyone who might trap him out. Mana is low for Svamgrotta. They run in and they try to achieve as quick a race as possible. As Hosty, he didn't know where everyone was. Now he knows he's safe, but the Immortal goes over to Granit Gaming. They've got to get mana. Fountain in the mid is available. They clear out the 3 catapults in bot lane. The one thing that could end the game while they push with this, but they have to make it to this Immortal. It's a late game Immortal, 18 minutes in. It's not 20 minutes, but it's still good. They have to make their way up. They'll be fighting into level 20s, though. They are a level and a half away from their Storm tier talents. But Granit Gaming, they still look for their chance. Rewind. The upgraded angelic armaments for Imperius. He chooses to keep his team alive, and this, with those level 20s, will be enough to drive back Granit. They will achieve nothing, but they do get Soak. The Immortal gets a tower. They get experience. And unlike most workplaces when they offer experience, they will actually get something from this. They will be able to get themselves closer to level 20. With Heavenly Host for Imperius, it's going to be very hard for them to engage now, but they will survive. They move back to their base. There is no reason for them to rotate anywhere if it's not through their base right now. They have no idea where Simplicity are. They have no reason to step out until the level 20, because the only way Simplicity end is if they bring a minion wave or some mercenaries to the base of Granit. Granit, there's no objective for them to get. They clean up mercenaries fast enough. They are more than happy just to wait in their base and let level 20 come to them. That's all they have to do. That's all they're going to do. They will play it safe. They are half a level away. A couple minion waves. Simplicity making the smart call here. They will begin moving around the map. They're moving slowly because they don't want to get trapped out by Granit. But they're being very slow and cautious about how they're clearing minion waves. Here we go. Immediately being seen in top lane. Granit Gaming, they clear the wave and run the hell away. They're not here to fight. They can't fight until 20. However, them showing down in bot does mean that Simplicity do get the cap. But again, Granit Gaming, they clear that fast. Oh, they send Sylph down to bot lane. That's going to soak them to 20, but it will mean she's not here for a couple seconds. Is it going to be worth? They'll kill off this Bruiser camp. There's 20. Infinite lightning here. When push comes to shove. Fortified bunker. Rewind for Muradin. Sylph's still a little far out, and also hasn't picked level 20 yet. Might have to quick pick Bolt if she's not careful. They're going to try and get Wit. Jet propulsion does not land. Race begins. Hosty sieging in. Sleep Dart finds Blaze. Nintori doesn't care. Sylv does go Bolt to the Storm. Plays it safe. It comes down to this. This Immortal might end the game, no matter who gets it. As we do see Lutano makes his way onto the point. Skook, he doesn't know Wit's there, lands the stun. Immortal stun follow-up, doesn't land. Cure dives in. They're going to try and take out Skook early. He's able to avatar through. Thanks to the lurking arm of Heading, they push forward. There's the Angelic Armament, hits multiple members. The bunker to block the reaction. Cocoon is popped. The bunker will prevent the Angelic Armaments for the turnaround. Big red button is now active. Charge avoided with one of the Forsaken. These teams trading medallions, trading unstoppables, trading shots and abilities left, right, and center. Wit is found. They don't find the engage, though. In the meantime, Lutano begins to work that Immortal down to the halftime show. Wit is dropped. Nick tries to find it, will not find the angle. Odin's about to expire, so Lutano, he pulls back to a safer position so that when it expires, he will be safe. One more nuke will come out of it. As it pops off. Cure looking to wrap around. They found Nintori, who's all alone. Nintori very separated from his team. Stepped up too far to try and find the split, but Nick is tanking through. They're looking for one last chance at a turnaround here. It's defensive positions as they try to race through. They're forced to pull back. Wave of Force slows the retreat as Cure looking for the charge. Wit with the double setup. Great medallion by Heading. Might keep them in it. Nick is freed, but it's going to be Heading taken out. Nick is the counter kill onto Anna. He's killed off by the nano boosted Hosty, who turns up the Swamgrotta, the last saving grace. They have to survive with the damage, but Miraball takes him out. Skook misses Hosty. Hosty with the sidestep, and they run their way in. They don't need the Immortal. With 4 members versus just 1, Simplicity will take the fight and make their way onto the core. Muradin is all alone. It's down to Skook to defend, but he just won't be able to do it. There's the Cocoon to guarantee it. Game number 5 and the series will go over to Simplicity. Granit Gaming will move down to position 5, and Simplicity will take 3rd place. Big charge. Nicely done. Sorry, 4th place. They lost an extra game. They cleaned that up. Simplicity able to take the final game of the series. They take the 3-2. And as such, they will make their way further up the board. Very well played. Let's show you exactly what just happened in terms of positioning. In fact, I'm just going to quickly refresh this. Right-click. Interact. And boop. Oh, I actually have to Properties. Refresh cache. Ah, crap, I have to scroll. I forgot I did that. Hang on. Interact. Boop, 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 boop. Is that it? Nope. This? Oh, no. What's happened here? Close enough. That'll do. Alrighty, so as you can see, with that win, Simplicity are now going to be, there'll be an extra map on there. They will now be 7 and 5, which will put them tied with Wildheart Esports. A big win for them. So the refresh obviously did nothing. Granit Gaming are 1 and 2 now, putting them at 5 and 6, which will put them just above Sidestep Kings. So they will remain in 5th. Simplicity are now tied 3rd with Wildheart Esports. A big play coming in for Simplicity to give themselves that quick boost. You can see here the stats at the end. Lutano with the max siege damage there, beating out Li Ming by quite a bit, just sieging and clearing so effectively. Deaths-wise, so much focus. The fact that you see the most deaths being on Muradin, Blaze, and Imperius, that's where we saw the massive damage output. Them able to get the quick bursts, able to use Imperius to burn through heroes that would normally be very tanky. Beautifully well played. Incredible performance by Simplicity. What a series! I called before this week that this series might be the one to watch, and I was right. That was so impressive coming in there at the end. Cure and Wit look like they are just on the same page at all time. They just always look like they are playing together as a unit, and that's fantastic to see. I'm really excited to see where Simplicity go from here. Looking good. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head to a break. When we come back, it will be time for series number 2, which I'm just setting up the overlay for now, so we have time to deal with the break. There's probably going to be an interview, so I will take you to that if there is. Hang on. Just setting up the overlay. If there is an interview, I will take you to that so that you can see what's going on there. And when we come back, it will be time for game number 2, our second series of the day, where we will have Chili Mountain versus 30k. Should be a very fun matchup. I'm excited to see it. Again, just setting up my overlay for the moment. Excuse me. Throat's bad today. Alrighty, so I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. If you are, also as a reminder, maybe consider dropping a sub or a like or something to show a sub or a like, a sub or a donation of bits or something to show your appreciation. It would be very appreciated. I can only keep doing this whole casting malarkey because of people like you supporting the stream, because CCL sure aren't paying me. I'm doing this because I love heroes, and this is some of the best heroes we are seeing right now. So if you do consider yourself to be enjoying my casts, then please consider maybe dropping a subscription or a donation to show that you do so. Alrighty, so how's our interview looking? We've still got a bit there. You gave yourself to Udol. I understand completely. I'm not saying that you need to sub every time. I understand there are other streamers out there, but if you have something to spare, it is appreciated. If not, you are more than welcome here. If you can spread the word as well, that is appreciated too. You're here because you love Tetcher. Thank you, Zaravan. Kappa Pride! Nice. And yeah, because it's very appreciated. If you can do that next month, that would be appreciated. But it's not a necessity. It's just a request if you have it going spare. Alrighty. I'm keeping an eye on the restream so that I can see when they on the main stream so I can see when they go into an interview. So I will head to a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. I will jump you over to the interview when that starts so that you don't miss that. For now, don't go anywhere. When we come back, it will be Chili Mountain versus 30k. Departing from the stream, but thanks. Nice to see you, Slovenian. Hope you come back another time. Hope you had a good time. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all in but a moment.